Why are you lounging like that, man?
I don't know, man. I'm just hanging out.
Yeah,
I feel like
you're a
I
little
got it
too
going
relaxed
on.
for me.
I want to do an impression for you.
Why are you talking like in a grizzly voice?
Just kind of because I just kind of feel sexy right now. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got a lot of soda in your voice, and you're full of your dick is all full.
Oh, we're starting Monday morning like this, huh?
I got a heavy piece.
It's Monday.
I know, but I'm hanging heavy. I'm hanging heavy and ugly. Hanging heavy and
heavy
ugly.
and ugly?
Yeah, just all like.
Looks like he has a runny nose.
Make a sound effect from my dong. I just it'd just be sitting on the chair in a lazy like he don't give a fuck.
Like an old bayou frog.
Yeah, like my
like
big
a bayou frog
like my piece,
with a runny
balls.
nose.
They give zero.
And then every
fucks.
now he goes, achoo!
Yep. They give zero fucks. You know what?
Zero fucks.
Yeah. My dick and my piece gives zero fucks. If he was a person, he'd be one of them real heavy Southern dudes in a folding chair at a carnival
with Cheeto on the tip of his nose.
Yeah, resting a drink on his tummy. Just that's how he is right now. I wanna come. I got a dick on me. I wanna come. That's my impression of a heavy metal band that sings only perverted songs. It's not bad. I wanna break into your starfish with my piece. I'm 49. I want to apologize. Look, I'm feeling a little off my pins.
You are, man. How was New York?
New York was fantastic.
Let's just get into that.
New York was fantastic.
Thank God you didn't die.
Until the bomb that went off. Yeah, and thank God nobody else died.
ISIS tried to kill a guy.
God damn it, man. So I was telling the story. I was at the Chelsea market on 16th and 9th. Saturday, coffee, well slept, well stretched.
What time
feeling
is this?
Good. Probably 3 in the afternoon, and I'm just strolling.
Yeah, but don't give the whole day, though, huh?
Looking at beautiful women. There's a spice market. There's coffee over there, and I'm like, this is great. I'm in Chelsea Market, which is where the old Nabisco cookie factory, where I shot Oz, where they invented the Oreo.
They invented the Oreo there?
They invented the Oreo on the 7th floor, where we shot Oz. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, God, man, 14 years ago, I shot this TV show here. And I'm looking at all these people, and I went, I swear to God, I stopped, and I went, it's too crowded, it's too nice, and I feel like this is exactly where a bomb would go off. I don't know what happened. I turned around and walked out. Whatever. We all have these weird premonitions. I don't believe in any of that stuff. I don't believe in psychic stuff, but I just had this, I got uneasy in a crowd I couldn't escape.
And just for the record, Bryan always thinks like that, so I believe you on this one.
Always. I always think that way. It's not like I had this premonition.
Yeah. But
New York is, there are areas of New York where people congregate and there's zero security, and it would be a place where you would, So I then have my show. I'm excited. I got some good people. I got people in Adele's band that are coming because Adele's piano player, shout out to Eric Wortham, who I guess is a fan of mine. And so I went to a bar the night before Adele's band. Her backup singers
Was Adele there?
She wasn't, but her backup singers were, and they were singing songs. Oh my God, can they sing? If you're a singer in Adele's band, if you're a backup singer,
you can sing.
You got some pipes.
Yeah.
And you don't know it until you hear them. If you're
even sharing a stage with Adele.
This one dude with a guitar, and this girl's up there singing,
voice of
"Ain't
an
nobody
angel.
love me better." And she's English, and I was like, oh my Lord. Anyway. So they're going to come to my show. I'm pumped. And I'm with Jimmy Burke, the national treasure. And we're right outside. So the bombing happened at 133 West 23rd. I was at 208. That's where Gotham Comedy Club is.
800 feet away?
About 800 feet away. If you actually MapQuest it, my wife sent a thing, it's 800 feet away. And boom! Just this crazy, sickening, loud noise. And I turned right to Jimmy and I go, that was a bomb.
Did people start running right away?
Well, I'm right behind the first door, which is made of plastic. So we really felt it. So boom, this huge noise. And we go running outside. I go, that's a bomb. We go running outside. Smoke, you could smell it. And there was just, that quiet before this, just
calm before the storm.
We're like, what the fuck? And there's that confusion. And then I see people running toward me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I said to Jimmy, I go, because your instinct is to go toward it to see what's going on, make sure everybody's okay. But it's so sickening because people got hurt. I thought people died because it was so loud, right? So you get so scared. So before that, they told me I had 4 minutes before I had to get on stage. I run and I go, Jim, let's get back inside because there could be another bomb. Let's go back in. So we go back inside. The guy goes, you're on. I go, there was just a bomb, dude. And they go, no, yeah, what? I go, I'm telling you, there was a bomb. How did you not hear that? But if you Gotham Comedy Club, you go way in
to the show.
So you can't hear it.
The crowd's already sitting down?
The crowd's already been listening to 20 minutes of stand-up. Now I come on, hey, everybody, it's me. In my mind, people had just been killed. In my mind, there was a bomb. In my mind, there might be another bomb. In my mind, worse, my cousins were coming to see me.
Dude.
So I didn't know if they were, and Jimmy Burke had just literally biked past that. He had come up from the east side on 23rd Street. So he lives on 27th, where they found a bomb a half block away from him. So it was all very close to home. So I was just kind of off my pins, but you're a pro.
Did you get up there doing your thing?
Got up and I did my thing.
Okay.
But I will admit, I was sorry if you guys were there. I might have been a little rushed. I was a little nervous,
For sure. Well, your mind's a little bit elsewhere.
Yeah, I was depressed. You get very depressed very quickly. It wasn't so much fear. You're afraid, but you just get so depressed that the world is this way, that people get killed over. Fuck. So I was worried on a lot of counts. I get up, I do my stand-up. Crowd was great. I got in 45 minutes in, and the off-duty cop walked up on stage and took the mic out of my hand and said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. Because you know what I did when he walked up? I knew that it was
Something's
bad.
Going on, yeah.
I went, oh no, because they came into the club with machine guns. And because they had to evacuate all the buildings. And the guy was an off-duty cop. Guys, I'm on the job. Let me go get him off the stage. Don't come up, with guns. So he comes up, just took it out of my hand. He goes, ladies and gentlemen, we got to evacuate. We're really sorry. And the first thing I said is I went, oh no, as I saw him walk up.
Yeah.
And it's just that awful feeling. It was bad.
Was the crowd calm, or were they like...
No, everybody is calm in those situations. It's funny because nobody knows. They didn't hear it.
They have no idea really.
On. But what they do is they make you make a left. You make a left out the thing. Everybody walks down, but you're always uneasy because where's the next bomb? And they found a bunch of new ones.
5 or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
So anyway, we went down to the meat packing district. I saw my cousins down there. I hung.
So
with
you guys
them.
hung out afterwards too.
Yeah, and I was with my two buddies who are special agents because they do protection work for United Nations delegates.
United Nations is in town.
Yeah,
right?
and they were getting all this intel from the FBI, and they were able to tell me some stuff that was going on.
Jesus Christ! Man.
But it just sucks because it just sucks. It's just like we live in this world.
Thank God that guy's a fucking moron and didn't get anything done.
And thank God it was not a big bomb. And let me tell you, I've never been around a big bomb, dude. When you're 800 feet away, which is pretty far, it's I was saying I was 50 yards, 100 yards, because that's what it looked like and felt like. It's so funny how when you actually look at it, it was 800 feet.
Yeah, but you don't know.
It's still 800 feet. It's still a half a block. It's still pretty close. But, and of course I could see everything, but it was so loud. I can't imagine real bomb.
I can't imagine.
Where they have it, a car bomb or a truck bomb that levels blocks in Afghanistan and stuff.
I can't imagine.
Dude.
We were doing the fight companion.
Yeah.
And Jamie, the producer, points to look at my cell phone. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he goes, points. And I go, huh? And he goes, bomb in New York. Canel's in New York, right? And I went, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to go to the bathroom. That's why I went to the bathroom. And was like, yo, man, what's the deal, brother? You all right? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I was freaked out.
Well, that's why I sent you, because everybody who, I sent my wife, I sent you, people would be asking, especially because it happened on 23rd Street. My wife knew the club was on 23rd Street. It's scary shit, man.
Yeah, we didn't know how serious shit was.
The bummer about all of that is that, again, lucky it wasn't a huge bomb. Lucky I wasn't 800 feet to the east.
It didn't kill anyone, like 20 injured, which is terrible. And then the ferret puts everyone, then they found all the other bombs. We're lucky that he's a complete moron.
Yeah.
He wasn't better at making bombs.
Yeah.
He wasn't better at planning this.
Yeah.
That's where we're lucky.
Right.
He's a
the worry that I have is that there will be a time when somebody's way better at planning with a much more powerful weapon. That's why nuclear.
Well, they learn from this. They'll learn from his mistakes and then do other ones. But the cool thing is that they didn't kill him, right? He had a shootout with the cops this morning. They caught his ass because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
And so they took him alive, right? Which is a plus because they can get all this intel out of him and find out who else he was working with.
Well, they know he went to Afghanistan a couple of times. So probably got radicalized there, learned how to make bombs.
This morning when I woke up and I turned on CNN, I like to get just every detail I can out of it. And I read all the news clippings and all that. They showed the first photo of wheeling him into the ambulance.
Yeah.
And I thought,
with a wounded shoulder.
yeah, and he's like, oh, yeah, fuck. I was just like, God, I would pay anything just to have a fake, like a
fake,
like an EMT,
Yeah,
like
EMT,
EMT,
yeah.
And like, oh, I'll take it from here, fellas. Thank you. Yeah, no, yeah, you strap him in.
Are you sure
okay.
you're a?
Yeah, okay, just
got
yeah,
it.
I'll go ahead and close this. All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then just look at him like, what's up, man?
Time for a dick punch.
I was like, how you doing? Where'd they shoot you? Oh God, man, thank God you're all right. And then just do some
Dig your
dirty
thumb into
shit.
his. Yeah.
Oh, just YouTube. Check it out. Me pissing on this terrorist here. Yep.
Yep.
Just pissing.
You know what
him
helps
out.
with bullet wounds to the shoulder? It stings real bad. What I'm going to do here is I want you to look me in the eye. I'm going to take my thumb. I'm going to dig it as far into your wound as I possibly can. Right? That'll sting a little bit. And my friend Brendan's going to give you a couple dick punches. Now listen, he's a professional fighter, so he's going to really lay in there.
I'm gonna tie your dick in a knot, sir. Like
Yeah.
literally try and tie it like my shoe.
Your pancakes are your genitals will be pancaked.
Yeah, they sure will. And I don't listen. I'm not all into the Quran and stuff, but what to say about gay stuff? Because I'm not gay, but I'm about to get weird just to fuck up your life. Yeah, it's gonna get real weird.
Sir.
Hey, Callan, scoot back a little bit for me because it's about to get
Go ahead,
nasty.
big
up in
spot on
there.
the wall because Big Brown's going to town. He's doing it for America.
This is for
Let's go ahead and
America.
get your ankles up on his big old shoulders because some shit's going to happen.
Oh,
right
what's
now.
that? You're tied down and we taped your mouth? Interesting. Callan, go ahead and hit the national anthem for me on your cell phone and hold the camera, sir.
Sir, you're about to.
God, hold on. Let me look at some of the
about to
pictures.
be
Let me
turned
look at
into
some
a
of my
kid for
pictures on my
America.
phone. Again, I'm not gay at all. I'm just going to have to leave some pictures of hot cheeks before I do this.
He's getting himself going.
All right, we got one here.
Yeah, he's got
we got one here.
Here we go.
You
Yeah.
ready for some pure American power?
Yep.
Horsepower.
There it
I'm
is.
like a Mustang coming for your ass. And it's about to get ugly.
Yep. Doing it for America.
Do it for America. And we're going to post this. We're going to shitload of views. Those ISIS videos you guys post, yeah, it's going to be a little different.
Yep.
It's going to get a lot of views.
That's right. That's where you're just doing it for America.
And then Callan's in the back yelling, World Star! And then me
World
just
star.
busting on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, America.
God
Kadoosh!
bless America.
You think they would arrest me?
No, or you'd be a national hero.
Hell
will
yeah, I'd
say-
be a national hero.
It's funny how in life, we're good people and you don't want to hurt anybody or torture anybody.
There's
But
few
when
times I
there
get
are
that
people that
upset.
are such assholes that could have caused so much irreparable pain and damage. And you're just like, you have that impulse to do terrible things, humiliating things to them. You got to kind of, you don't want to have a system of law that allows for that for a lot of reasons. Which
I
we
wouldn't
don't have to
mind
get
like
into,
the
but,
Dark Knight stuff where where they kind of go walk on the ice out there. Let me know how it goes for you.
It's just a crisis of understanding and a crisis. It's
Rare I feel
total
like that.
ignorance.
Me. Like obviously I wouldn't kill him. I would 100% want to make a videotape just making a hilarious video that embarrasses him and his family. I'd love to do that in ISIS. That would be fun. I think like think about in Minnesota, the guy who walked into the mall and just started stabbing people and he was like, "Excuse me, are you Muslim?" And you're like, "No." Kadoosh, or stab.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you don't know the situation, if he just runs up on you, but without a gun, if I was walking down Santa Monica 3rd Street and that happened to me, bring it, my man.
Oh,
that would I encourage that.
Oh, no, for you.
I
Yeah,
welcome
no,
that.
you'd
unless
be the
unless you
wrong
slip-
guy.
Unless you slit my throat.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna tell my girl, get out your phone. I've been waiting for this all my life.
A knife to your belly ain't going to
Why
stop you
take
when
your
you're
dick
adrenaline.
out?
When you're
I have to.
I have to.
I've been waiting for this all my
UFC
life.
fighter Brennan Shaw beats the shit out of and buggers terrorists with a knife. Yeah, I mean, it is what I look at is that when I hear about these young men, right, who do this shit, these young extremists. I guess I always just the bummer is that they've been brainwashed. They're young dudes who are morons who think that they're actually being A, heroic, or B, they're actually helping a cause, or C, they think in their own sick, twisted way that they're righting a wrong, creating a justice where there's injustice, all that shit. And obviously none of it is relevant when you kill people, and they should be treated accordingly.
Well, this stupid idiot, his family had a business, had a restaurant, a successful restaurant, and they wanted to keep it open 24 hours. And the city's like, yo, we can't because this neighborhood, it's causing disturbance. That's not your license. So they sue the city. The city wins, so they can't stay open 24 hours. So then he goes rogue, oh, this is America sucks. Really?
Yeah. Well, who knows why? Because we know he went to Afghanistan and did a lot of training there, I guess. They have records of him going back to Afghanistan. He's an Americanized, he was born in Afghanistan, an Americanized citizen, but, also, again, this is a young, who knows, his family might be great. It's a young, radicalized
I'm sure they
man.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure if he talked to his dad, like, what the fuck are you talking about? We're living the American dream.
It's always that way. It's like,
we
what?
own a restaurant, you moron. Now you've just tarnished our name. How many people can go eat at the restaurant?
Right.
Hey, man, can't eat there anymore. The Hush Puppies are great. Can't go there.
I know.
Your son's a terrorist.
How many serial killers lived with their mom? He was such a nice boy. He lived in my basement. Well, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, you failed as a parent, though, Mom. Anyways.
God. Or you just have
you failed as a parent, though, huh?
Kid. By the time they're 28, though, it's like,
grown man.
And also you're
But if they're living with you, and your son's like bringing all these like weird electronics and shit in the basement and jacking off the faces of death.
Who knows?
I'd be like, you're some red flags here, sir.
You're busy. You're running a business. You got money problems. 28-year-old. Oh, by the way, here's the other thing. If you have a 28-year-old, you don't expect them to make a bunch of bombs and drop them everywhere.
I'd have to sniff that out at the crib.
Yeah, you have to sniff it out. Which, by the way,
I'm a hover.
They are.
I'm a hover.
By the way, they're definitely sniffing it out.
Oh, he's fucked. He's an idiot. They caught him sleeping in his car, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you, the worst terrorist of all time?
Yeah.
Even I was like, God damn
He didn't really have a plan B.
You guys have to get smarter.
Didn't have a plan B.
Oh, your plan was to blow up all these bombs and sleep in your car outside a bar. Fantastic,
Most
man.
didn't go off, I guess.
Found you in literally 2 hours.
Yeah.
He's like on Twitter, like, hashtag the life, It's
Would it kill you to wear a disguise? The guy, like, you got surveillance of the moron.
Sir, you look
dragging a duffel
every
bag.
bit of ISIS. Yeah, I mean, you look every. I hate the racial profile.
Be more stereotypical.
You can't do that.
Yeah. Look, I mean, look.
Fuck this guy. How was New York though? New York was good. We're spending too much time on this idiot. The New York was great.
Yeah.
We're there November 3rd, Comedy Festival.
Yes.
Fire Kid moving on up.
Exciting.
I've seen the list on the Comedy Festival. How the fuck did they let me into that thing?
Isn't that amazing?
It makes sense. Me, they're like,
Now we're going to tear it up.
how did you get in there?
We're going to tear it up.
We're going to tear it up.
We're going to tear it up.
Please save the bombs for the week after.
Exactly.
Please don't do it when I'm there.
That's right. We're going to
Because I'll go full Jason Bourne on your ass. Yeah.
My friends are so sick. With terrorism, you have to have humor. Some of my friends are like, I heard you bombed. Ha, ha, ha.
That's tough.
Ha, ha, ha.
That's tough. New York was great, though, huh?
Yeah, it was great. I love that. Love it.
Trying to think. Yeah, we haven't seen each other in a while. I shot that commercial for The Greats.
Tell me about that.
It was in, Special K went with me. It was in the hills of, it's like Beverly Hills. That's where I want to live. I got a new place I want to live. The Beverly Hills.
Really?
You ever seen Emperor's New Groove where Couscous lives, like on the little thing? That's how it was like. All this grass, this sick ass crib.
You see some beautiful places.
A lot of land too.
Yeah.
Not cheap. But
Bel Air. You ever been to houses in Bel Air?
Yeah, amazing.
There's a girl when I first
love
got
that
there.
area.
Ooh, I went to Bel Air. This girl I got a little thing with, and I mean, it's just a ridiculous.
No, it's a nice area. Yeah, but that commercial was fun.
A little thing with her.
It was a long day. A long day for your boy.
Oh, acting? You mean doing a commercial? Yeah.
It was funny, though.
If people could see what actors really do on a set, they wouldn't be as fascinated with acting or actors.
This one was fun because it was different.
Would be they'd go bankrupt.
We had to do it a bunch of times. Let's do the same like bunch of times.
What'd you have to do?
Bunch of times.
Yeah.
Like it was my house and they just stumbled upon me, oh, hey, what are you guys doing? I'm cooking breakfast, reading. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm Brendan Schaub, just like former MMA fighter. Yeah. It's funny. Then something always happens. They did different skits. And then there's one where he's a comedian. He just moved out here from New York. He's hilarious. I forget his name. I posted it on him on my Instagram, but he's my stalker in a shirt that said Big Brown. Dude, so I'm going through the bit why greats are so good, and he has to knock on the window like, bro, I found you. What's up, man? And he's like, Big Brown, Little Brown, Big Brown, Little Brown. Dude, and he was improvising, and we probably did 12 takes. He looked like a Muppet baby, and I just could not stop laughing at him.
Oh my
he
God.
was hilarious.
Some of those guys are so funny.
So funny, man. He was so funny.
It's great.
Yeah, he was great, man.
You're a giggler too.
Oh, dude.
You're a giggler.
So the camera, it's his point of view, right? So you can't see my face. So I would talk to him, but I was staring off at something else. And I'm like, come on, man, restrainer. You shouldn't be here. And then he just keeps doing his thing. And then he'd go, come on, bro, mount me, man. I promise, no more long hugs. No more long hugs. I was fucking dying,
genius. Just
man.
improvising all these
I told him
lines.
to come to the Comedy Store on Tuesday when we're there.
Oh, he's in LA?
Yeah, I want you to meet this kid.
I want to meet him.
He's funny, man. He's been doing stand-up for a while, too. Just moved from New York. See, he's been doing it for like 10 years.
He's got chops.
And just came down here.
Probably did improv, too.
Yeah, he was really, really funny.
Training.
The young man's name. But he was really fucking good. Yeah, and then we had the companion on Saturday, my man. You were missed, very missed. Joe Schilling stood in for you.
Fights happened over very quickly. Very strange.
I didn't. The only ones we really paid attention to were the last two, and they're super right. The Uriah Hall stoppage, which was a little early, and you know me, I usually
that was early,
right? And you and I are usually like, let's stop it. But even now, I was like, God damn, that was a little early.
Yeah.
And then
Herb Dean's the best in the business, but he, sometimes
I think John McCarthy is the best. But there one or two depends. I love John. He's my favorite. He's most knowledgeable, I think, too.
Definitely.
But then in the main event, Johnson and Poirier just went. I mean, Johnson just knocked his ass out cold.
And Poirier's been on.
And then got so mad. What
was that about?
That trash talking, but you can't stand over the guy and go, fuck you. Nah. That's so rough. It's tough because it's trash talking, and then he carried it even more. But you're so emotional after a big win like that. I get it, but it shows your level of
lack of self-control.
You're just a little immature,
a little
immature,
indisciplined, and
just a tad when you do that.
Yeah,
and trust me, I've been there. When I was really young, I did some horrible stuff after I knocked guys out. Not horrible. I did very similar stuff.
Yeah,
but I think as you move on, it's a little more professional.
But you never took it personally when you had an opponent,
right?
Not
once. Yeah. Never. Not
it
once.
seems like some guys do.
When he did that even the cut man came in and was like, dude, you calm down, man. Like he just kept talking shit. Yeah. Kept talking shit, which is a little rough.
It's not classy. It's not sportsmanlike. It's kind of shitty. And it doesn't do you any favors, man.
It really, no one goes, no one goes, I want to be like that guy. No. Or, I want to see him fight again.
And by the way, Dustin Poirier is a hell of a fighter. You caught him. Good job. But that will be you. Yeah.
And it's happened.
MMA. It's happened. Yeah.
MMA is very unforgiving. So I got done with that. Dude, we got done at around like 11 or whatever. There's nothing open. I didn't eat dinner. You know how Rogan's is. There's the fucking paleo bars, and then you're balls deep in coffee. I was starving.
Yeah,
there's no pickles. I could have lived off pickles. I was like, God damn, someone break off pickles. I was starving. There's like nothing healthy open late. I already had a cheat meal. I had this big ass breakfast, like pancakes and all. I went nuts.
You went nuts.
Yeah, because I've been strict, right?
Yeah.
So, especially for that commercial.
And you were starving.
For that commercial, I had like a lettuce and an ice cube for about a week. Super lightheaded.
Those fight companions, they can go on.
They'll go on. We ended like 3.5 hours because Rogan had to do a set.
Right.
But I was starving. But you get done, and there's literally nothing. There's no healthy options. Mm-hmm. I was like, you know what? It's just one of those. Maybe it's instead of a cheat meal, it's a cheat day.
It's a cheat meal. Cheat day.
A cheat day.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I drove around. I tried getting a Chipotle where I can eat healthy. I can just get chicken.
You gotta go to McDonald's.
They're closed.
Get yourself a couple of apple pies. What'd you get at McDonald's?
You know what? I wish I would have got the apple pie now that you mention it. But I did go to Mickey D's.
Yep.
Went to Mickey D's.
French fries?
No. Passed on the fries.
Big Mac?
Nope, not a Big Mac guy. They kind of gross me out. I go with a quarter pound with just cheese and ketchup only. All right. Two of those. Washed down with McGriddle.
A McGriddle?
Washed down with McGriddle. Then went ahead and wet my whistle with McFlurry.
With a McFlurry? And What's a McFlurry? I don't know what a McFlurry is.
Oh, man. It's like their version of a milkshake. It's like ice cream, and then they spin it with Oreos.
Goddamn good.
That shit.
I bet you it's so good. You know why? They have food scientists
Game changer.
in those labs with lots of money, and they get they do taste tests. They do crazy tests.
No, their ice cream, you forget why they're so successful.
Dude, their ice cream, their shakes are fucking amazing.
Oh, you know what I topped it off with? 10-piece chicken McNugget.
You ate a lot of food, bro.
Hey, bro, I went home, did not feel good at all. So, you know what? I was balls deep. in that sweet and sour sauce with chicken McNuggets because I had a cheat day.
Sure.
And I was like, God, this is a bad idea, but I kept on keeping on.
Got to keep on keeping on, yeah.
Kept on keeping on. Hit the vape pen, got even worse. Then I finished everything. Wanted to throw up, wanted to purge like 16-year-old girl.
Yep.
Couldn't get it to come up. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to try and sleep this off.
You tried to throw it up.
I sure did. Couldn't happen.
You got a little bulimia in you.
A little bit. It comes out every now and then.
Little prom queen, 16-year-old, 17-year-old girl.
Yeah, 100%, especially after I ate like that.
Yep.
So I put on the Canelo fight.
Oh, boy.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it.
It was a good fight, though.
Damn it.
Canelo's by far the biggest draw in boxing right now.
Did he make quick work?
Dude, so Liam Smith, world champion, tough as they come.
British guy, right?
Yeah. Family of four brothers are all boxers. The youngest, the youngest, the middle one's going to be world champion soon too. Family of killers. And I even said on Twitter, I said, I think Canelo could be in for, I think he's going to win by decision. I think he's going to be in for a long night though. This guy's tougher than everyone gives him credit for.
Sure.
Canelo, it's the best I've ever seen Canelo look. He dismantled this fool with body shots.
Wow.
Dropped him. So Liam Smith's never been dropped. He's 26-0 or 24-0 world champion. He's never been stopped or dropped in his career. Canelo dropped him 3 times.
What?
Body shots.
What?
All body shots.
Now, I know
the final one was a left hook to the body, and he just went down, and like the ref was like, no more.
A long time ago, you probably didn't want to see Canelo fight Gennady because Canelo was smaller. But now you are intrigued by that fight.
I'm super intrigued by it.
Because
guess what?
What?
Because then after the fight, Max Kellerman gets on the mic. They're doing, how'd you feel? Blah, blah, blah. Liam Smith, body shots. And Canelo goes, yeah, because my right hand was messed up. So in the second round, so I had to get creative. And that's where the body shots came. He just was destroying.
Wow.
Yeah. So and then Max Kellerman goes, now I'm going to ask you a question. You know this is coming. It appears that your promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, is avoiding the fight with Triple G and has these other fights for you, and you've been a guy who's never ran away from anyone, but yet you go along with your promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, avoiding this Triple G fight. And you tell because Canelo is always very respectful and like very knowledgeable on what's going on.
Sure.
And you see him stop thinking here's what's going on with that. We offered him the fight. We offered him an 8-figure deal, and he turned it down. I'm scared of no one. I'm the best boxer in the world. He turned the fight down. He goes, I always respect my opponent. I don't want to do this, but I wanted to fight him. He's the one who turned it down.
Huh.
Then he goes, I'm the best boxer in the world. Viva La Mexico, and walks off, and the crowd's just like, go! Dallas Stadium, 40+ thousand fans.
Wow.
So then Gennady gets on Instagram, shows a picture of him like chilling, laughing. I was like, this dude really thinks he's the best boxer. Not like broken English, not my English. He just put, like this guy really thinks he's the best boxer in the world. That's hilarious. Yes.
Here it goes.
Yes. Fire it up.
Feed the fire, feed the flames.
So then
that
Canelo
fight
has a fight already scheduled, I think in December or I forget what it is in December. And then Gennady has one scheduled in November. So if they don't fight after that, then something's going on. Someone's running from someone.
Yeah.
If they don't fight in that Cinco de Mayo in May, if Gennady and
I can understand.
someone's running from someone. Because after Triple G's last fight, it's the first time you've seen him, he's looked human.
Yes.
And that's with a smaller guy in Brook.
Yeah.
And you're like, God, man. So, and then, but my only
Gennady gets in there. He gets in there.
My only worry is Canelo. Maybe it's just because Liam Smith, he was just so much better and hurt his hand, but he was taking breaks against the rope, and even Liam Smith was doing work there against him. This was the only time he was successful.
Yeah.
Against Gennady, you're not going to be able to do that.
No.
But, Canelo knows it. That fight.
Triple G's a much bigger man.
He's bigger, not much bigger.
Not much bigger, because Canelo's so thick.
Canelo walks around at 170.
Okay.
He's a big dude. He's a tank.
He's a tank.
He's a tank.
He's a tank.
And hits like a motherfucker.
Yeah. And he's got
It's
crazy
a great fight,
speed.
man. Amazing fight. But you would think people learn from the whole Pacquiao Mayweather debacle where that happened 4 years too late. Some may argue 5 years too late.
Yeah, let's go.
By the time it came, we all tuned in, but that fight fucking sucked. Dude, you got Canelo young. Was he 24?
Yeah.
He's young.
26.
27. He's 27. You got Canelo. You got Triple G's not that young, but he's
30,
in his prime.
yeah.
32. So let's go, man.
Is Triple G only 32? I thought he was 36.
He's actually 34.
Yeah, 34.
Right in the middle, yeah. But he's been fighting forever, so
Yeah.
you can't wait too long.
No.
So this is the fight, but you'd think they would learn, man. All right, Triple G, Kell Brook, that was a great fight.
Yeah.
It's a big fight. The thing is Canelo has way more to lose than Triple G. Triple G is not a draw at all,
Yeah,
in
right.
the least bit.
Right,
He's
right.
just not a draw. If he does a pay-per-view against Kell Brooks in the States, I'd love to see the HBO numbers that watch it. It's not good.
What about
Canelo's a huge
Kovalev
Canel's
and,
the huge
Andre
draw.
Ward? Is that a big
not
draw?
a draw. Not a draw.
Isn't that crazy?
Not a draw.
Only among fight fans.
And diehard fight fans. That's a great fight. That's in November. I think we might do a companion for that
Well,
too.
I can't take it. I'm so excited about that fight. That's going to be crazy.
Triple G, Canelo's the fight, man.
That's the fight.
That's the fight. But again, Canelo has so much more to lose than Triple G.
Are their styles, would you say, similar?
No, not really. I think like Triple G, he can do it all, man. He can do it all, and he goes forward. You know, Canelo does great when guys pressure him go forward. That's why it's such an intriguing fight. It's such a good fight, man. That's the fucking. But again, Canelo has everything to lose. Everything. Triple G, he's not, as much as we know him and love him, he's just not.
He has a lot of money to gain. That's all. He'll make a fortune.
It's interesting, right?
I'm excited about it.
Hopefully it happens. I mean, Oscar De La Hoya never ran from anyone, but he's in charge of Canelo's career.
I feel like boxing's a little bit more easier to predict than MMA.
No.
No?
No. There's too many belts. There's too many.
No, I'm saying like when two guys are going to fight, you have an idea of their standing. The odds usually play out better than they do in MMA, do you think, or no? Like that, like nobody could really tell what was going to happen with Dustin Poirier and Michael Johnson, really, right? It could have gone either way.
Well, I don't know what the odds were on that. MMA's tough. At a high level, it's. I mean, like we know what John's going to do. For the most part, you know what Ronda's going to do. Yeah. But there's, but also, boxing MMA hasn't been around as long as boxing. Like, the chances of someone beating Canelo besides Triple G, not good, man. The chances of someone beating Conor McGregor, as great as he is, are way more likely. But also, he's fighting. He doesn't have a promoter. Right? He doesn't have a Conor McGregor promoter that's going to say, well, no, that's a tough fight for you. The UFC is your promoter and you know what I'm saying? Yes. Basically your manager.
Do we have any news on Conor McGregor, Eddie Alvarez?
Madison Square Garden, 205.
Nothing official.
But that's what it's going to be.
That's what a little birdie told me. And this birdie knows the game.
And this birdie happens to know the game.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough fight for Conor. Good fight.
Yes.
Good fight. Tough fight, though, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see they did Alexander Gustafsson and Little Nog?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Why?
Is Joe Silva? Joe Silva's just fucking around now.
Why?
Gustafsson's getting really weird fights.
Why is that? That's the strangest thing, man.
He goes from fighting for the title to Jimmy Manoa to Jan Blachowicz to Lil Nog. This doesn't make sense to me.
They just want him to.
I don't know.
Maybe the heart fire's not there, so they're just like trying to keep him happy, keep him warm, but so he can fight a John or a DC. I don't know, man. Maybe it doesn't make sense.
Keeping him on the shelf, sort of keep him lubed.
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm Gustafsson, I'm loving it. What? I get paid and I don't have to go to war with John Jones and DC. Let me just go rip this old man's fucking face off and get paid a shitload of money.
I guess that's
if as a fighter, it's the best.
It's the best, right?
What? What? Alexander and they give you a little nod, you're like,
Whereas when you have a monster,
I'll fight him 10 nights in a row. I'll fight him right now without training.
When you know you're fighting a monster, your 8 weeks is ruined.
You get paid the same.
Yeah.
You paid the same. I mean, especially Alexander, I don't think he gets pay-per-view, so you're getting paid the same. Whether you fight 5 rounds with John Jones or 3 rounds with Big Nog, you get touched, you get the same paycheck.
You get the same.
Unless you get a bonus, but still.
Yeah.
I'll take 10 Little Nogs. Now, Little Nog is one of the greats. So I'm not being disrespectful. Of course he is.
But his time might
You're 50.
Yeah.
And UFC years, you're 110.
A lot of punishment. He fought. He proved himself. He's a great.
No competition for Gustafsson at all. At all. It's very interesting, man. Very interesting.
Any word on John Jones and his suspension, his impending?
Nothing. Not yet. It's taking a little longer than I was expecting. I kind of figured we'd have like a hard layout of what was going on with him.
Cowboy got an opponent.
Who?
He got fucking.
Oh, Kelvin Gastelum.
Oh, Kelvin Gastelum is a winner of the Ultimate Fighter. A badass. I've been watching the 125 pounders. What do you think of that? Why are you making that face?
With Kelvin Cowboy?
Yeah. You don't care.
Does nothing. Does nothing.
You think Calvin?
They took Kelvin from his fight with Masvidal, right? Masvidal, yes.
Was he fighting? Yeah.
They took him out that to fill in for, Robbie Lawler. You go from Robbie Lawler to Kelvin, it's tough. Granted, Kelvin's ranked high, but I mean, as far as like awe factor for New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely harder to get.
Who would you like to see Cowboy fight at 70?
Nick Diaz.
Nick Diaz.
Nick Diaz is I mean, it's New York. Don't give us
Why
this
wouldn't they
regular
give him
shit.
Nick Diaz? Nick Diaz is a great fight. That'd be great to watch him and Nick Diaz go at it.
It's New York, and then did you see is it? I'm sure is it current events? Iaquinta.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about it then.
Yeah.
What else did you do, buddy?
I'm trying to think of what else I did. Not a lot. You know what I do
Travel.
when I'm in New York? I walk around.
Saw
and
your
I
buddies.
write. During the day, I'll drink my coffee, work out, and walk around and go through
Would you work
my
out
set
there?
in my head. And because I'm, and then I do like a prison workout in my frickin' room, or I'll go to the gym, the hotel gym.
Did you stay in a hotel?
CrossFit stuff. Sure did. The Dream Hotel.
How come you didn't stay at your place?
Because I just wanted to stay downtown.
It's a
I
little
like
far,
it more.
right?
Yeah. And
Should we stay in a hotel when we go?
the problem is it's $500 a night. It's expensive. We could, but maybe we stay at my mommy's apartment. My mommy.
Yeah, or a hotel. Just depends.
We'll figure it
out.
Figure it out. Make reservations now and get it. Downtown's always good though. Downtown's always good.
Downtown's not like Times Square, right?
No,
I can't
downtown
stand that area.
Talking about the meatpacking district, the village, Tribeca, those areas.
But the only thing is that when you stay, even if you're 10 blocks away from them, to get anywhere,
Oh yeah,
my word.
that's why you want to be downtown.
can keep
everything, all the good restaurants, all the fun is downtown.
Probably won't stay downtown. It was
Yeah.
exhausting taking all those fucking
I
trams,
agree.
taxis.
Let's stay downtown.
Walking.
Yeah,
It was a nightmare.
yeah. We'll stay downtown. We'll sleep in the same bed and cuddled up.
We'll share it. We'll just get one giant ass king bed. You, me, and Shark Eyes Doll Smile.
Yeah, just three guys.
Someone's going nose to nose dick wise.
Well, one time we got this bed and breakfast. I was with Jimmy Burke, my buddy Frank Martin, and my buddy Steve Shucker, Jerry. And we go,
Yeah, it doesn't matter
and
the
my
names.
buddy Frank Martin said, I made reservations. Now, this is the room. I go, what? He goes, yeah, just go up here. We don't want to wake them up, bed and breakfast. I go, but shouldn't you check? No, I think it's up here. I go, all right. He just opens this door, and I was like, this is great. He goes, yeah, the other door is closed. It's locked. I go, but there's no linen in here. He goes, yeah. And he goes in the closet and takes linen. I'm like, what the fuck? So I get in bed. I go, I'm going to bed, man. And he goes, I'm getting in bed with you. I go, dude, I don't want some giant guy. And then Jimmy takes all his clothes off and goes, I'm getting in bed too. Get the fuck out of bed. I spent an hour trying to keep him out. And long story short, we fell asleep. I woke up and these assholes were in the same bed. And my other friend was sleeping on the floor. Grown men in their 30s. And the guy who owns the bed, the guy who owns the bed and breakfast comes in and goes, what the? No, people came in to check in. They looked at four dudes. They come back out. The guy comes stomping upstairs. What the fuck are you doing? Huge fight. They call the cops. They kicked us out. We had to drive away. My friend Frank had chosen the wrong Airbnb. It wasn't even the right one. We broke in and slept in there illegally. Four dudes in a fucking bed.
Grown men.
Jimmy naked. It was a good
men.
time. Yeah, it was good stuff.
Well,
Anyway, always just make sure you got good rezos. You know what I mean?
can you do? Let's go to current events to have in the cup.
Yeah. Sorry about that lame story, guys. Let's move on. Come on, let's get going.
Maybe keep that for when you're around those
By the way,
guys.
I've been all loungy, right? I'm just lying back. Must be
sharing
traumatized.
stories of
Oh God.
your friends.
Hey guys,
That
fast
no one
forward.
knows.
Fast forward that story. Sorry you can't erase it from your brain. Anyway, four guys. I'm just thinking better. And if we have bed and breakfast, we're doing that. Yeah.
Nothing happened, really?
Nothing. Just my friend took all his clothes.
You're better than that,
got into
dude.
bed. I am.
What else you got, Ev?
Damn it.
God damn it.
God damn.
All right, first current event that we've got today. Our boy Chael Sonnen is back. He's back to fight. He signed with Bellator, and he says, as far as the whole drug testing situation goes, he says that he loses 100% of his purse and faces a potential $500,000 fine if he fails any Bellator drug test.
Really? Either he knows how they test or something's up. But
Well, I
here's the
mean,
thing.
they don't have USADA testing, so.
Oh, okay.
No. They don't- remember when Scott Coker was in there, you asked that.
Yes.
They don't have USADA testing, so.
Yes.
Forget all that. Forget all
Let
the
me say
testing.
something controversial.
It's the smartest choice for Chael.
It's a great choice, but it's fun with a couple of things. One, Choice has a lot of other. Chael has a lot of other options, but he must love the competition and can't say no, can't walk away.
Yeah.
Something you were able to do. A lot of guys can't. Wish him luck. I'm going to say something controversial. I watched a lot of the Bellator fights, and I'm sorry, their bodies look very different than a lot of UFC guys, and they seem to move differently. It feels as though
Well, they're not better fighters.
Nope.
So that
nope. They just look
shits on
more
your
muscular.
argument.
They look thicker. My guess is.
It depends who you're watching.
Yeah. Well, look at me.
Well, they don't have USADA testing.
No, it doesn't depend. And I'm going to make my...
It does.
You know, I'm always like wishy-washy. Let me look at me. It sure doesn't. And they all look really muscular and puffy.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, obviously USADA has put a crink in.
Sir, you work for Bellator.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a... Listen, no, it's all good. I'm not saying anything bad
to do you
about...
a solid.
I'm not saying anything
I don't
bad
work for
about-
anyone.
I'm not saying people are
be the guy.
using steroids.
No, that's
I'm just
exactly what you're saying.
I'm saying
No,
that
that's
USADA...
Don't play ball. If you're gonna make a stand like I do, I want you in.
USADA has changed the bodies and movements of many a UFC fighter.
Meaning maybe they can't eat as many carbs.
Maybe
or
they're not
something.
eating as many carbs, and maybe they're not getting as much
Maybe
protein.
Bellator has a better diet plan.
And that's all I am trying to say.
For Chael, I think it's a good idea. At 185, he's older now. I don't know. Are they going to let him be an analyst? Are they going to let him do some of the WWE wrestling or whatever he wants? Because he wants to do all that, right? So they let Bobby Lashley and some of the other guys do that. So I think the whole package deal is better for Chael. If you watch, which I did, I watched Bellator with Chet Congo versus Tony Johnson that night, and they, Chael came out there making the announcement they signed him with Bellator. His shit talking is, it's tough, man. It's tough. I love Chael like a brother.
Yeah.
When I watched it, I went, ooh, because I think we're used to seeing like Conor, and it's like it's like his passion and it's who he is, and then we see Chael, it's very scripted, it's very WWE, but like bad WWE. It was like the bad guy's back, and then he's supposed to fight Tito in November. Tito Ortiz.
Oh boy.
So then Tito gets on Twitter and was like, yeah, bad guy is back to being stupid, and then you have these two like 40-year-olds talking shit via social media, and then it's just like bad marketing. I'm like, well, I feel weird.
You feel as though it's all
I don't
done.
like
It's done.
this.
It's not done. It's done for the show.
The game's changed. The game's changed. Like when Chael was doing that, he was the best in the business. Conor took that title and ran with it.
Yeah.
And then you see Chael now, and you're like, man, it is so WWE, but like bad WWE.
Yeah. It comes down to whether you believe somebody or not.
But we know Chael is like, Chael's like the whole bad guy thing. Like this is what he does.
Yeah.
But it's just not. I don't know. Maybe he's had short notice on Bell. They're like, hey, we're going to announce it tonight, so he had to come up with something. But you could tell it was like all pre-written out. It was all,
Yeah. Yeah. Also, though, I'm surprised to hear that he's come back to fighting, because when we did the podcast, I know he said, he goes, in my mind, I'm always getting ready for another fight. Like, he's in shape. He looks great. He's like, in my mind,
I knew something was up, because you asked him, do you miss fighting? He goes, every day. I think about it all the time, blah, blah, blah. And he even kind of mentioned how he wanted to still fight. And then after the show, I went, so you think you're going to fight? And he goes, nah, I'm done. And I'm like, something's going on.
So in your mind, though, because you see this with fighters all the time, in your mind, is it that you feel like you have more to do? Is it that you feel like you've learned even more technique that you want to implement? Or is it that you just miss the competition, the juice? What do you think?
The competition, the juice,
It's the
100%. And Chael was never world champion in UFC. He can be world champion in Bellator for sure. But also, I'm sure with his contract, and I know I don't want to talk about his business on air, but I know the contract Bellator does. He has the potential to make a shitload of money,
Good
too.
for him.
So when we talk about money and you miss competition, it makes sense for a guy like Chael.
Why not? Yeah.
I text him. I went, hey, this Bellator stuff is real? And he's like, sure is. I went, damn, good for you, man. I said, I'm jealous you still have the fire. I do not. Do not. My life cannot get any better.
Simply do not.
I do not need
nothing
that.
wrong with that. I, for one, am very grateful that you don't.
Yeah. I think Chael's going to do well.
You know, you're one of the rare people that really and truly has not looked back and doesn't miss it. I mean, for a guy
I have too many obstacles in front of me. If I looked back, I was like, God, maybe I should do that. Then I won't be successful in this other arena, which is so fucking competitive.
It requires so much of you, this arena now.
Yeah.
All your creativity, your imagination, so you don't really think about it. I mean,
I'm also not getting hit in the head, and I'm making more money than I did fighting. So, it's like
huge reasons.
Sometimes, like the only time I'm like, damn, I kind of miss doing that is like when Kell Brook walked out that Triple G fight and the whole crowd. And it was like, I was like, God, that. But
even that's performance.
Because he kind of walked out to one of the songs I've walked out to before, and I got chills. I'm like, fuck, I do definitely miss that.
Yeah.
But then when he was in there, I'm like, I don't miss that.
Notice that you missed the walkout and the theatricality.
Yes.
Not the fighting.
No, nothing about the fighting. Yeah. Nothing.
It's really interesting.
Nothing.
It's good.
Like this morning, I was in the gym and some guy was in there, big Conor fan. He had matching Reebok Conor gear on and hat. I even think he had a Conor tattoo. And I walk in, he's like, "Oh shit, big brown boy," and we start talking. And he goes, "I mean, I've seen you on Instagram, and you look great, man. Bet you're looking." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man." And he goes, "I mean, there's nothing they could offer you." I went, "Probably not, man." He goes, "That's such a shame." I went, "Why? Why is that a shame, man?" I said, "If you knew me, I've never been happier. My life has never been better. Never."
Isn't that amazing?
And he goes, "I know, we could do one more." I went, "You didn't hear me. My life's never been better.
Yeah.
I owe you guys nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Appreciate it."
Yeah, and like I think the big answer is why. There are plenty of fighters out there. There are plenty of fights to watch.
Yeah, and the game's not like, God damn it, we need another Brendan Schaub, Andre Arlovsky fight. We're dying.
The game's not. The truth is the game's not like that for anybody. Actually, the truth and the heartbreak for all, even the top of the top, is that
I realized that my third fight
goes fucking on regardless.
The show will carry on. Yes. If Conor McGregor got hit by a bomb, if Ronda never fight, the UFC is doing just fine without Ronda. The UFC is doing just fine without Brock.
Yep.
The UFC, John Jones, no one really even thinks about it.
Nobody thinks about it.
The show carries on. The NFL, Adrian Peterson's hurt. Show carries on.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
They play next Sunday. You think they give a flying fuck?
Right.
The fans don't. Everyone tunes in. That's one thing I learned. You better get yours, and you better figure out how to carry it past just fighting, getting punched in the face.
Yeah, it doesn't give you a lot of loyalty to fighting itself.
The show rolls on, sir.
The show rolls on.
What else you got, Evan?
All right, next one. Floyd Mayweather came out today and said that the fight with him, the potential fight with him and Conor McGregor, is basically officially off. He said, "I tried to make the fight happen. We weren't able to make it happen, so we've got to move on." And he's like, "It's cool that I'm the biggest name in MMA when I'm not even competing in the sport or in boxing."
All right, Floyd. That's fine. Thank you. You know what I mean? Conor didn't want to box with you. Awesome. Yeah. He didn't want to step into your arena. Why don't you just throw a little wrestling in? There's just a little jiu-jitsu in the first round. And let's see how awesome you are.
Well, it's not even that. That's silly. Like boxing, I'd like to see it. And for Conor, I wanted to see it just for the payday. With Floyd, he just can't stay out of the limelight. You know, it's too tough for him. Definitely not the biggest name in MMA. He's the biggest name in, I guess you could say, combat sports. Yeah, that's true. He's not lying. It's just, it's weird when you say it like that.
Yeah.
When you talk about yourself.
Could make the fight happen.
Is he a bigger name than anyone in the UFC? By far. Not even close. But it's just...
Is there a Muay Thai woman? I mean, but Holly Holm, she'd be allowed to kick, or some high-level Muay Thai woman?
I don't want to answer this.
Hold on.
Are you going to say her versus Floyd?
Well, I got a better one.
Maybe jump on the forums.
I got a better
one.
Stuff.
Maybe jump on the forums.
Cyborg.
Jump on the forums, though.
Well, just hold on.
Go ahead.
High level kicker, puncher, female. Would she beat him, or would he be able to avoid the kicks and punch her in the face and knock her out?
Not sure, man.
Tough one, huh?
I don't. Again, that's a forum question. Go on Reddit and they will fucking analyze the fuck out of that. Well, not my gig. Well, I don't. I just don't care. We know what happened if it's not gonna happen.
We know what happened if it was a guy.
Would you say?
We know what would happen if it was a good Muay Thai guy. I think he would kick Floyd's legs out, right? But maybe you have a different point of view on it.
You're saying...
well, in other words, he's talking about...
This is weird.
I'm talking about MMA.
You're saying like a true... It's an MMA or it's a boxing match?
So Floyd boxes and he fights. What I'm just saying is that Floyd's saying, I couldn't make the fight happen. Well, you're asking Conor to step into your arena where the rules are very specific and it's only with your hands in boxing. And then you're going, well, I couldn't make it. I guess I'm still the biggest name. He's cocky. I get it. It's fine. He's going to be cocky. He's a fighter. But... I think, judging from what I have seen other fighters do, if Floyd tried to get in there with a mid-level Muay Thai guy or a good kickboxer, he would get pieced up.
Mid-level? No, Floyd would knock him out.
Even with kicking?
100%.
How about Muay Thai?
Yeah.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. All right. Interesting.
What else you got?
It's not that the fight's not happening because of anyone's worried about what's going to happen if it's in a boxing ring versus in a cage. It's a money thing. It's always a money thing.
Yeah, it's a money thing.
It's the split.
And from what I heard, obviously Conor has a huge ego. He thinks he's the draw. Floyd thinks he's the draw. So
Floyd's
they
the
couldn't
draw
meet on that.
right?
They couldn't meet. Well, I mean, it depends. If Dana got behind Conor, if the UFC was like, yeah, let's do this, then you're talking about the biggest fight of all time. You have the UFC fan base. You have the Floyd Mayweather boxing fan base. Be interesting.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I mean.
All right. So moving on to the next current event. Our boy Damon Martin came out with an article today from an interview that he had with Iaquinta. And it's a pretty scathing, it paints a pretty scathing picture of how the UFC handles the financial contract situations with fighters. So Al was sidelined for 17 months with a really serious knee injury. Basically, the UFC paid for it at like the absolute last second, but he spent those 17 months basically, draining his life savings because, he's not getting paid while he's sidelined. And the contract that he had, that he currently has, was signed pre-Reebok deal. So now the new bout agreement that he would have had with Thiago Alves, that fight is now off the card. Alves and Iaquinta aren't going to fight. Because Al wouldn't sign. No, he wouldn't sign the new. He wouldn't sign the new contract because the new contract has all the Reebok sponsorship angle to it. So he's making, the money, the contract that he would have made pre-Reebok and post-Reebok are very, very different. And he just spent the last 17 months draining his bank account. And on top of that, the UFC is punishing him by making him ineligible for the next his next three fights. He's ineligible for any kind of performance of the night bonus, which is like 50 grand. Like they're significant,
and he wins them.
And he puts on.
Remember, he won 4 fights before all this, and I think he was ranked in the top 10. Correct?
I don't know. I don't know if he broke.
I think top 15. Is that right?
Top 15 sounds right.
He's top 15.
Yeah.
Either way, he's
right.
Fuck would you do that to a guy like that?
So, the punishment for the performance of the night bonuses was based on a trio of infractions. One being that Al fucked up a hotel room, which he admitted. He's like, yeah, I kind of jacked the hotel room up a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. The other one is cursing on TV, which I thought was wildly entertaining. So
it's hilarious.
Cool. Good for marketing, I think. And the third was, what was that third one? Let me see.
So he's off so he went, I'm not signing the contract like this Reebok deal. It's ridiculous. Same reason GSP won't sign. He's like, what? Yeah. And then I have a very good friend who's large, and you guys know him. Another reason why he hasn't signed with UFC, because they went, oh, your contract's, when you retired, we freeze your contract. Then when you come out of retirement, it's a go. Yeah, here's the contract. And he goes, well, no. This was the contract when I had 6 figures in sponsors every fight.
Yeah.
Then I was cool to fight for this money. You guys changed the rules. You want me to fight the same contract? And you go, that's what we think you're worth.
Yeah.
That third infraction was he missed a fighter summit meeting.
I missed a fighter summit meeting because they want to fly him across the country to Vegas for the fighter summit meeting, which they're so stupid. They're the stupidest thing you've ever seen. They're so.
What are they?
It's all the UFC fighters. And they have people, they're like, make sure you tweet because it's important. Here's the IV new rules. Here's your duffel bag full of UFC Reebok gear. Please post this on your Instagram for us to help promote our show. And then here's the new rules or whatever. And that's it.
And you have to fly across the country for that.
Yeah, Iaquinta was like, well, I do privates. That's how I make money. So I'd miss all that. And I'm sick. So then like 2 days later, he posted a picture of him on the beach. And I guess the UFC brass got pissed. Like, thought you were sick and come to the summit. Hey, UFC, come on.
Man, though, docking a guy who really needs that money.
With Iaquinta, I think.
Free Iaquinta. Free Iaquinta!
It doesn't matter. What did we talk about before this? Show goes on.
Show goes on.
You think anyone cares?
You are a cog in a giant wheel.
I mean, it's good for him. It's good for him for sticking up for himself. And what's sad is all these guys we mentioned are 100% correct.
It's awful.
It's
awful.
They're all in the right place, and they all have a legit argument. It does not matter.
Yeah, you're dealing with a corporation whose whole deal is bottom line. It's like dealing with a sociopath. It doesn't matter. You are a number, and you have to play according to numbers.
That's the fight game.
Here is the protocol that this corporation wants from you, you soldier, and you will behave accordingly.
Now,
and
the thing is if you look at this, so you have GSP saying this, you have Iaquinta saying this, you have other guys saying this. Get together. You guys all have huge influence, especially GSP, especially Iaquinta. Look at the gym he's out of. Think about if everyone,
what gym is he out of?
Think about if that gym decided no one's going to fight till Iaquinta gets paid. Chris Weidman's from his gym.
He's out of the Sarah Longo MMA in New York.
Okay.
Stacked gym.
Stacked.
Super crazy stacked.
A ton of good guys. Now, if all of them go, we're not fighting. If Chris Weidman, a week before the fight goes, I'm not fighting in New York in my hometown unless you pay my boy over here what he's worth. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you know how vindictive certain people can be in that organization.
It doesn't matter. See, so if you think like that,
can they afford that too?
Well, if you think like that, like it's never going to work out. You're going to deal with this for the rest of your life. If you live in fear that they're vindictive and the UFC always wins and we just got to play the game, okay, then no one complain. But if you man the fuck up and everyone gets together as a team and you unify and go, we're not doing shit, because Iaquinta, guys go, I'm getting paid, I'm good. Right now you are. But if someone draws a line in the sand and go, this isn't fair, man. This Reebok deal is ridiculous. Are you kidding me? It's absolutely atrocious. We have to do something here. But when everyone else goes, I'm getting paid though, man. I'm good.
So
I get that.
Iaquinta's
You're going to be this guy.
He's not going to sign. So what they do is they go, you have a seat then.
No, they go, cool. Let's
extend the contract.
What's up?
They just extend the contract. Like, you want to fight now? Okay. They just extend the contract until you do.
Then he gets shitty matchups. They won't promote him. He won't be on the main card next. You still got to wear Reebok. You're still going to get paid.
It's like fighting against it's like fighting against. It's almost like, for me, it feels like you go and the airline. It's like fighting against a giant airline and nobody's there to really hear you. Like, literally, it feels like, how much are you charging me this rental car? Well, it's Avis. Talk to the Avis headquarters. Where's the Avis headquarters? They're in Connecticut. You have to go.
Well, no, it's not. It's not like that, B, because you can talk to them. You can literally tell the UFC. You can communicate with the brass.
Yeah.
They don't care.
That's what I mean. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. It's like again, hey, you're literally a piece of meat that we can replace right away.
So what do you do if you're Iaquinta?
I don't know. I'll tell you
what you don't do. I'll tell you what you don't do. You don't go silent and you don't go, that's the game, chalk up to the game. Because for every guy listening to the show, and we have a lot of fighters listen, I promise you at some point in your career, it's going to happen to you. You're going to be Iaquinta. Now, Iaquinta's been out, he's been injured, but he's a fucking monster. And that kid has so much potential, it's not even funny. He could be world champion.
Yeah.
But right now he's not, and he's coming off a long layoff, so people forget about him. But it's just a dog eat dog world, because it's like, I'm getting paid, man. I'm good. Are you though? Because it's gonna happen to you. Are you good? Company's worth $4 billion. Are you really good though? And the other thing about being a smart businessman or being a smart entrepreneur is you learn from your mistakes and you acknowledge your mistakes. I've made a shitload of mistakes on the show, marketing wise. The comments I've made, I've been kicked off shows because of what I believe in. I've made a shitload of mistakes. I'll acknowledge them. I'll man up to them. At what point does Dana White and the UFC go, this Reebok deal's a mistake, man? We really fucked up. They can go, well, we're making money. We don't care. You guys have enough money. You have more money than God. The fighters, man, you made a mistake. Mm-hmm. Let's just chalk it up to it. Let's figure out another way to pay these guys. Maybe we bring in another sponsor that can be on the shorts so they get more money. Maybe they can wear Reebok, but now you have Harley Davidson on the shorts. You have Dodge on the shorts.
Sure.
Those sponsors in the Octagon, who are they paying? Not the fighters.
They're paying the UFC.
They're paying the UFC.
Yeah.
So why don't we put those logos on every fighter? Give them a few grand here and there.
You think?
But why not? It's too easy.
Why again?
But again, there's not one fighter, I promise you, on this earth is going, this Reebok has been great, man. There's even those guys that sign those single deals. Just one part of being a businessman and being a successful businessman, you can listen to anyone you want. They're all going to tell you it's owning up to your mistakes. I promise you, in his heart of hearts, Dana White knows this was a mistake. The Reebok deal is a huge mistake. You got your biggest Canadian influencer signing with Bellator because of the Reebok deal. That's a huge loss, man.
Yeah.
And of course they go, it's nothing. He's just a guy. Right now, he's just a guy. If he's a world champion over there, and the rest of the Canadians see that, and then you start losing talent.
That's right.
It's a snowball effect.
That's right.
But I
gotta tell you,
being a smart person, being a smart entertainer, being a smart businessman, you learn from your mistakes, but you also own it.
Yeah.
Again, I've made a ton of fucking mistakes, man. A ton. I'll own every single one of them. You guys ask me, I'll tell you exactly what
I feel like Bellator is just going hee. Scott Coker's like hee.
Kind of, but you're not going to see a influence right away. It's going to be over time.
It's going to take some time, but it's in their favor. They've got some very exciting fights over there.
But how long would it go with everyone, including the fans, if Dana held a press conference was like, man, dude, I've been the face of MMA, especially the UFC, for how many years? Yeah. What I've done for the sport is amazing, and this sport isn't where it's at without me today. All that's correct, and we've just sold for $4 billion. Looking at this Reebok deal, I made a mistake. I respect what Reebok's done. They make some tremendous gear, but the pay structure is not what we want, and we're losing guys because of it. We see how upset everyone are. Not to mention the outfits look ridiculous. We're also working on that too. Brendan Schaub helped us out some. So here's the thing.
Wait a minute. You just threw yourself in there as a designer?
I'm just fucking around.
That's good.
All the NASCAR shit you see on the cage, all that, a percentage of that will go to every single fighter. So with the Reebok you see on them, you also see Harley Davidson. You're going to see Dodge. You're going to see Budweiser. You're going to see Monster Energy Drink.
Why not?
We're going to figure out a pay structure for all of them because these guys are losing so much money. I fucked up. My bad. I'm trying to make it right here. Because I'm worth $400 million. Yeah. And Iaquinta just spent his life savings trying to fix his goddamn knee and live, and he's a guy who's been fighting his ass off for you. What?
It's
am I crazy here?
No.
Is that not a legit point?
I always say I have no idea what it is to run a corporation or a UFC, but for me that feels like common decency. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not a CEO.
Just step.
Maybe that's not.
But even if you're a CEO, just step back and be a goddamn human being for a second. Look at Iaquinta. Look who he's surrounded by.
Yeah.
One of your best friends, Matt Serra.
Yeah.
Who's fucking brilliant. Ask Matt about the Reebok deal.
Yeah.
Which obviously he has his own podcast, which is featured with the UFC, so he can't talk about it freely.
How long? But
think about the domino effect you're having. Matt Serra, Ray Longo, Chris Weidman. Go through the whole list of that fucking team. All those boys.
Well,
Frankie Edgar.
How much longer is the Reebok deal? Are they in a Reebok deal? Do you know?
I'll look it up, but offhand, I want to say
2 years.
No, I think it's a long-term deal. I thought it was I recall it being like a 7-year deal.
I think you're right. I think it's 6 or 7 years. The Fox deal's up in 2 years.
Well, but it's 6 years, so that means how long ago was this? 3 years ago?
It's a 6-year, $70 million deal.
Okay, so we're probably in year 4.
No, 2 years in.
You sure?
100%, probably 2 years in.
Okay,
because
it looks like it was signed in December of 2014.
Wow,
2 years ago.
So yeah, about 2 years ago.
I retired in December of 2014.
We got another 4 years of this.
And that's most guys' career.
Bad time to be a fighter in many ways for the UFC.
Just as a business, like especially with WME buying this, you think they'd sit down like, what's our biggest issue?
My biggest issue
with the brand. We're taking a black eye, man, because we all have money sitting on this table, right? And everyone goes, okay, man, but you just can't do that. Who's getting all the money in the ring? Well, we are. I know, but you're not paying the talent, man. These guys are really unhappy. Does that not matter to anyone?
It's not just unhappy too. It's undignified. Like for me, when you have a guy like Iaquinta or someone who gives everything and they're so talented and they're so tough, and people who fight like that don't have a long window.
There's a lot of charisma too.
Good-looking all of that. And then the indignity of having no money, the indignity of being punished by some faceless corporation or by people who don't care about you.
A couple of faces, yeah.
Yeah, that don't care about you, that could make a difference. That indignity, the humiliation, the stress that comes with having to worry about making your rent, having to worry about making your car payment, all of that shit. Having to worry about not being able to give the people you love a gift. There are these little details that make such a difference.
Go on a date.
Go on a date. Just go on a date and pay for a meal.
He's a professional athlete, and he's doing fucking personal training on the side.
And he's on a big show. It's gross to me.
He's Iaquinta.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
It's nuts.
That's why that's enough.
But how much money do you need? That's all I want to know. How much money do you guys need?
What is your overhead? It's not how people think, man. It's not how people think. And I'll tell you something else. What's fascinating to me is that very wealthy people find a way to spend that money. I don't know. I just don't know. You know, I don't know.
What's another?
I said to you one time. I said, I don't know how I would be giving. I'd be putting those logos on the short. I would be doing that, and you said that's why you're not. That's probably why you're not. You and I are not CEOs of that company.
What'd you say?
Just about like how we do that in a heartbeat, but sometimes.
You're talking about my idea.
Yeah, I'm saying. I was like, why not just give the fighters a dignified wage, and maybe some of them are making a dignified wage. I'm not saying I don't know. I don't know what the pay structure is. But in that case, for example, 17 fucking months and you drain your life savings because you can't fight, which I get. You got hurt. It's part of it. But to have no fallback on that, man, it makes it so difficult to think as a young fighter, why would I go into this? When you see those examples, a guy who does everything right, yeah, he's a little wild, he does some shit, but he's a great fighter. And the payoff is, man, the payoff can be, you can almost come out with a deficit. You got zero money. I don't know. We've talked about this a lot. It's just a bummer.
We haven't talked about it in a while, at least. Though. This fired you up. You know, this fired it up just because of Iaquinta. You know, he's such a monster and a good dude. And they sold for $4 billion. Just as a businessman, from one businessman to another. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to just own your wrongs.
Uh-huh.
But even Reebok, they don't have it out. There's no way they like this. There's no way.
Well, just because
there's no way. Name one person you've ever seen with a kid on. Name one person you've ever seen say something positive about this deal. One fucking person involved with it.
Right.
Name one person.
I wonder what Reebok's sales have done since this deal. I wonder if their sales have been up. Can you look that up?
Is that publicly available?
No. Yeah, it's a public company.
Well, but
Reebok is owned by what Adidas?
By Adidas, but you're looking at Reebok as a whole. So Reebok has CrossFit, which they do well in. They have, I think, they were with someone for a little other leagues for a little bit. So I don't think you can look at sales as a whole for them to critique.
You'll just get a stock price.
But what's interesting about Reebok is like I went shopping for shoes today, and I went over at the weekend, and I was in the Foot Lockers and different places. I didn't see a lot of Reebok stock. I didn't see a lot of things for Reebok. It's not like they have big shelf space.
Their biggest space is CrossFit. They make like the CrossFit shoes for them. You know, they're the only ones involved in CrossFit, which is even a small demographic.
That's pretty small space. Too, isn't it? Yeah.
So, but they're trying to, because they're Adidas' redheaded stepchild. So Adidas, Adidas is fucking huge, right? So they went bankrupt. I think Adidas bought them out, so they own them, and they're basically like, do your thing. So they're trying to find their angles into this weird space. Yeah. You know, it's like you have two older brothers super successful in sports, then the third little brother's like the fucking emo one. Yeah. That's Reebok with Nike and Adidas. They're the weird emo.
What is Reebok?
That are like,
he's the angsty emo kid of the group.
They're the emo of the big brands. They're just trying to find their way.
Angsty
and they're doing
emo.
all this weird shit.
Angsty emos. You wearing those angsty emos again?
How weird is that?
Fucking hilarious, man. I wonder, what does Reebok mean? Does that mean something? It's a tough name, by the way. I don't want
to give him too.
When I think Reebok, I think aerobics. I really do. I don't even think CrossFit. I think aerobics. All that marketing, I still think aerobics, but maybe that's...
Well, CrossFit's still pretty new.
Yeah, CrossFit's pretty new.
Yeah.
What else you got, Ev?
So yeah, obviously that was a really complicated topic. There's a lot of, things going on in there. So if you are interested in reading up on it, it's, Damon Martin wrote the piece from Al's interview. It's on foxsports.com, where you can just hit up Damon Martin on Twitter.
Yeah, Damon's one of the best in the biz, too.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah.
Next one, let's lighten the mood a little bit.
Go ahead.
We'll lighten the mood a little bit. Let's talk about the Emmys last night. First award show I've watched in a long time.
I watched
Pretty
a little of it.
Damn, I didn't see it.
Really?
One award show I never see.
The one time.
Did that Aziz the comedian win?
Ansari?
Yeah, did he win?
Yes.
Sick.
Yeah,
he
he
sat
did.
on his mom's lap.
He won for what? He won for what?
I can't
His
recall.
comedy special on Netflix, right? He has like that series.
I remember. Yeah, I remember
Master
he
of
won.
None. Master of None.
Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he won. American Crime Story, the O.J. Simpson show, cleaned up.
Really?
As it should.
Dude, I gotta watch that now. Sorry.
You haven't watched that?
No.
I feel like we did like 3 consecutive,
did.
like 3 back-to-back
We did, 'cause you were,
episodes
like,
that were
briefing
almost
me on
all
it.
It
OJ.
was
And
great.
how did Cuba Gooding Jr. did he win anything for that?
I don't think Cuba did. I mean, for my money, he was by far the worst
By
actor
far
in the
the
entire
worst. Didn't
cast.
look like him. Wasn't very good. Wasn't in it that
Tough
much.
casting. Tough casting.
The guy who was Johnny Cochran's, I guess, opposite figure on
The bald guy?
on the defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black bald guy.
Yeah.
He won. He was fucking awesome.
He was great.
Yeah,
Marsha
he won.
Clark.
Marsha
character
Clark won. Yeah, Marsha Clark's character won. Game of Thrones cleaned up pretty good. It was basically Game of Thrones and American Crime and the OJ show.
Really?
Just ran train on
Damn.
everyone.
Damn.
Did
You
damn.
watched it, Kay?
Your mic's okay.
I watched a little of it.
I watched it.
Yeah, I didn't see any of it.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel was the host. He was awesome.
He's good.
he was- yeah,
Jimmy
he was
Kimmel's
great.
always
He's
good.
brilliant.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Kimmel's just funny, man.
He's great.
Yeah. It's like he's not even trying, you know. He's just good.
That's who you want hosting
yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Him or Fallon.
They had a little like corny, like, you know, they had some stuff that, you know, like, yeah, it was
That's how
all
those
right.
award shows are.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, Patton Oswalt won for
that's
Variety
great.
Special for his Talking for Clapping Netflix show.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean his 1 hour special? Or?
Yeah.
Wow, his stand up.
Yeah.
Man, he's so awesome. He deserves it. God bless
I know
him.
that guy's amazing, right?
I love Patton.
Yeah.
I love Patton. Good for him. Gee whiz.
Damn, Netflix doing work.
Doing work.
Yeah, it was good. Transparent was nominated for a ton of stuff. They did
Yep.
pretty decently, I
I've
believe.
never seen that. That's what
It's
the
where
guy
Jeffrey
dressed as a
Tambor, that was
girl.
my acting
Yeah.
teacher.
Yeah, Tambor gave a great speech.
Did he? Did he
Yeah,
win?
I don't know if
Such a
he.
badass.
I don't
They've
recall
won
if he.
before.
So,
right?
so that's probably his 5th Emmy, but he was my acting teacher for
No, yeah, you've
4
told us a
years.
bunch.
And there's no one who can act like that. When you watch a guy like that, you go, oh, well, that's why. He just understands it.
I
Yeah,
thought he
he
won
won.
before.
He earned his 2nd straight win for Best Actor in a Comedy.
Amazing. Yeah, he plays that role.
That's on Hulu?
So naturally.
I think so. Or Amazon?
No, what is that on?
It's on Hulu. That's like
It's on Amazon.
Is Transparent
It's
on Amazon?
It's Amazon.
Yeah, it's not Netflix. I wish it was like Netflix or one of the big
No,
boys.
it's Amazon.
Then I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. It was a good show. A lot of Trump jokes, which wears a little thin after a while.
Yeah.
A lot of
Didn't they announce that Bill Cosby was coming out?
yeah. I mean, I would
guess that
would
was-
butcher the
I guess
joke
that
if I
was
tried right
I guess
now.
that was tasteless, but if Tina Fey was like, and they have a picture of her.
Yeah. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel. I might be.
And
off on
now
it, but-
Bill Cosby.
Yeah, he'd asked if Bill Cosby was coming to the stage. I was like,
Hey
I'm just fucking
guys.
with you.
Hey guys.
That's hilarious.
Take it easy.
What if he came out there? It'd be hilarious.
Hey, I just wanted to say.
You sound like Rapport.
I sure do. God damn it. That's
Not
terrible.
even close.
Terrible Bill Cosby.
Sound like Rapport.
Terrible Bill Cosby thing.
That's a hilarious joke, though.
Yeah,
Hey,
Aziz-
now guys,
Aziz-
just going to sting a little bit.
That's funny.
Presenting the award for Best Female Actress. Bill
Bill Cosby.
God, dog. What else
Wow.
you got, Ev?
All right.
God damn.
So we'll do one more current event. This one's just I couldn't not do this. It's just the headline was just entirely too funny. Suspended teacher allegedly told student to quote lick me where I fart.
It's not bad.
And then well first you need to get a picture of her.
Male or
This-
female?
Female. This is the teacher.
That is so
First of all-
aggressive. Oh, shit.
There you go.
What grade did she
She looks like Louis C.K. with red hair.
Lick me where I fart.
She teaches 10 to 12th grade
All right.
at Dunville Secondary School
Those kids
in
are probably all saying it
Ontario,
to each other,
Canada.
and she copied somebody.
Well, here's just a laundry list of quotes from her. Her telling a student who brought coffee to class, "Get that fucking thing out of here." Telling another student that he was a bloody pedophile. Telling another student, "I've never said this to a student before, but fuck you."
That's great.
Telling
She's
her
awesome.
class, "It's debate, not masturbate." Saying,
Oh my god.
after a student offered to buy her muffins in exchange for a passing grade, You mean a bribe? I'd be able to shit for a week because of all that fiber.
She's great. Hold on, what's her name?
She told one female student that she looks like a frumpy old lady.
God, Doug.
She's great.
Believe it or not her first time getting in trouble at school.
Fuck
She get
that.
fired?
No, she's just suspended for a month without pay.
Bring her back. What's her name? What's her name?
She's been gone for a month writing material to
hero.
fucking destroy these kids.
No shit.
Jennifer Green Johnson.
Free Iaquinta and Jennifer Green Johnson. Free Iaquinta and Jennifer Green Johnson.
Where's that at?
It's in Canada. It's in
Give her
Ontario.
money.
Good God.
I'll fucking ride. Let's mount the drive and give her some money. She's awesome. I had a teacher say "fuck you" to me. I go. He came in. I go, "You're late." And he goes, "Fuck you." Swear to God. Everybody started laughing.
You're late. Fuck you.
He goes, "Fuck you." He was reading. He walked in. He was reading like this, and I go,
You're late, man.
I just remember this, and I go, he was my theology teacher in school, and I go, "You're late," and he goes, "Fuck you."
Just looks at
I had a math teacher. I forget his.
wait, one
No,
more.
listen.
Yeah.
I had a math teacher, and I remember he would like bring his guitar, and like he wanted to be like a singer so bad, and he'd get up there before class and rock out. I think it was like his open mic or something like that. And he got done. He was like, "I just wrote this for you guys, so I know how much you guys." We all hated it.
No.
I actually enjoyed it, but most people fucking hated it. You know, it's like. You know, it's an urban school. So we were like, "Fuck you." He was like, "This is a new song I wrote," and he just going, puts his heart into it. And he gets done. He's like, "So, yeah, let's jump into some calculus." Some kid in the back goes, "That was fucking terrible." And and the teacher goes, puts his guitar down. You can tell it just ruined his.
He never picked it up again.
I swear to, I've never seen him again. Didn't see him play the guitar ever again. He just went, "That's fair."
Oh no,
That's fair.
I had.
He was like so like self-conscious and everything. Then you hear that was fucking terrible.
That's
Then
fucking
he just goes,
hilarious.
eyes swell up and just
I had my
Shitty
math teacher.
sweater
My
on.
math teacher was so heavy that she even had fat wrists, and I swear to God,
She spoke this way, and she would say, "All right, everyone."
she had dimples on her
This is
hair.
exactly how she spoke. She'd said, and she had a mustache, and she had very long hairs on her wrists. And she said, "I'd like everyone to take out a writing implement, please. Take out a writing implement." And that's how she taught math class. And I was 16, and I wanted to fucking kill myself. And
so she comes walking in, she's smiling, talking to the teacher, and one of the kids goes, "Where?" Behind me, he goes, "Where's Fatso?" And it's so sad.
Kids are brutal,
Yeah,
man.
man. And I don't like making fun of people for being overweight, but she walks in and she just walks in and she goes, "Yes, got it." And her face just turns to a fucking frown. She goes,
you, please come with me.
he comes out, talk.
Kid
He goes
comes back
back
in.
in hanging. I had a chemistry teacher, and I was terrible is too weak a word for chemistry. I couldn't figure it out, and I was
Chemistry's tough.
straight D minus.
I also got a D in chemistry.
I sucked at chemistry.
What is going on here?
Ooh, physics and chemistry.
I'm lost, everybody.
Shoot
Why am I in
there.
here?
Oh, dude, chemistry
Why
and
am I in
physics
here?
very difficult for me.
For sure, let me cheat off you though, huh?
That part of my brain, it doesn't exist. That part of my brain looks like it looks like just a little prune. Like it's like, hey, anybody awake in there? If a ball shoots up and the wind is blowing it, I don't know if I can too many
Like
things to keep
feed
my
a
head.
2-year-old broccoli.
Dude, I'm a dummy.
I just did
I'm a
not
dumb,
do
dumb,
well in
dumb,
there.
dumb. I'm a dummy dumb.
I cheated my way through the class.
That's when I realized there were different kinds of intelligence. Intelligence is compartmentalized. Some people are really smart socially. Other people are not smart with math. Different kinds of intelligence.
But you
in
shouldn't
life.
have to be forced to sit through that. If that's not your cup of tea,
Dude, I went back. I had to see my teacher after class, and he goes, it was so great. He goes, "Can I ask you a question?" And he spoke this way, and I said, "Sure." And he goes, "Do you think you're a genius?" And I said, "This might be a trick question." And I go, watch this. I go, "No." And he goes, "Good, because you're not a genius." In other words, he goes, "So it's going to be a little harder for you than some of the other kids." And he was basically telling me that I was a dummy.
well,
Telling me I was slow.
but that's not fair.
Then the best was I went to see him in the dorms. I went to boarding school. We had dorms, and he had his, he was like lived in the dorm. And he goes, and I realized that he was also a little light in the loafers. And he goes, "You're a lady killer. You know that, huh?" And I go, "Huh?" And he goes, "You're a lady killer." And I said, "Oh, I don't know." And he says, "Well, you look like one. You look like a lady killer.
I was trying to suck your dick for a grade.
And I was like, hey,
Dude.
exactly what do I have to do to get an A? And then,
Because I got some ideas here.
how come I'm
Extra credit, good do.
Yeah, but I think he's the kind of guy who would want me to give it to him.
Yeah, for sure.
He wasn't
No.
into giving it to me.
No.
No,
You'd
he
have
wasn't.
to
He would have
pack it
been.
home.
Now I'm going to ask you a question. You're a young wrestler. You're very skinny.
Have you ever heard of chlorophyll?
Yeah,
Well, I'd love for you to fill my asshole with chlorophyll.
Excuse me, but why is that in the movie? Then why did you just that's shitty writing and shitty dialogue? And how
It's
does
a
that?
porno.
It doesn't even
No, it's a
rhyme.
porno.
It doesn't even
It
rhyme.
doesn't have to. It's not a rap.
Chlorophyll. I want you to fill my ass with chlorophyll. Well, chlorophyll is in plants. It's a chemical that, when mixed with sunlight, produces
CO2.
oxygen.
Yeah, and he wanted you to pump his ass with oxygen.
He wanted me. Well, and again,
air.
I don't have air in my dick. That's the other
You'd
thing
be
you
surprised.
need to know.
Well, I skipped chemistry.
Well,
apparently,
no.
Apparently, I got an F, and no one hit on me.
He wanted
'cause
my.
I would have
He
gotten
might have.
an A.
If you had said, "I want some of your boy cream,"
Well, that's not how chemists would talk. He'd say, "I want some of your peptides in my mouth."
hey, I apologize, everybody.
I want some of your amino acids in my ass.
All right, dude.
All right, you know what?
Man, come on.
Hey, you know
It's
what?
not how he talks.
I had a
Just say boy cream.
yeah. Well, that's not how chemists would
That's
talk.
even creepier. Do you think you're a lady killer? Do you have any boy cream you can spare?
You think you're a lady killer? Can I suck on your beaker?
Well,
The beaker.
his beaker.
Beaker.
Why would he call it a beaker?
Do you mind? Do you mind ramming your beaker in my asshole?
Dude, that's not good writing. It's so direct.
It's a beaker.
Yeah, that's a beaker is a fucking. It's a cup.
vial.
It's a cup.
Vial. Yeah.
So, but that's not. My dick doesn't look like a vial.
Well, a beaker. Well, he's a chemist.
Again, I know he's a chemist, man.
It's your story.
No, it's your story now because you're
No, it's
adding
your story.
dialogue to my story,
Dude,
but it's
you
not
know,
good.
You know what happened to me the one time I had a situation like that with a teacher? Didn't get hit on. I never got hit on for whatever reason by teachers. Kind of wish I did.
Yeah.
Probably would have been game. Probably would have been game.
100%.
For a grade, I'll do anything.
For a lady?
I'll
For
do
a lady
anything.
teacher?
That dead frog over there we're dissecting, whatever you want to see,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Anyways, when I was in college, my freshman year, we had this huge paper due, and my buddy's like, dude, just go to fucking essayworld.com, print it off, boom. I'm like, essayworld.com? He's like, yeah, they don't find that shit,
Bad
man.
idea.
And I was stressed, and it was a huge project. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. And well, they had the exact essay I needed, like 12 pages, printed it out, typed my name in it, changed some of the words, you know, so it looked like mine.
Good job.
Handed it in. 2-3 days go by, and the whole class was going to see Monsters Inc. It was like a trip class just down the street. And he goes, hey, so this is the class. He goes, so everyone, we're just going to go over there, Monsters Inc. We'll have tickets, and I'll just meet everyone over there in the theater and just go ahead and walk over. You guys know where it's at? I'm like, yeah, we know, we're in college. So it's just over there, and, you know, because we had the project done, just meet you guys over there. Brendan, can I speak to you? And I'm like,
Did you get nervous immediately?
no, I didn't, because I was like, oh, this paper's legit as fuck. What's he gonna do? And I walk up and I go, hey man, listen, I'd love to see Monster Inc. I gotta get going. You know what I'm saying? Though he goes, yeah, sure. You mind taking a seat? I'm like, sure. And he goes, how and before he can even get it out, I go, listen, I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna be like, how did the paper get so good? Am I right? He goes, mm-hmm. My brother helped me. We're over the phone. He kind of gave me some ideas, so I used some of those. So it's not all mine, but, you know, it's still, you know, I still put in the work, you know. He goes, that's interesting. Let me ask you something, though. And he goes, whose paper is this? I went, that'd be mine. He goes, yeah, this is yours.
Squinting at it.
Yeah, I went,
Squinting.
I knew it was mine. I went like this.
And make sure
That'd be mine. He
Yeah.
goes, yeah, it is yours. Now, whose paper is this? In giant letters above says essayworld.com. I went, well, that'd be an essay from essayworld.com. He goes, it's the exact same paper. I went, yeah, it is. And he goes, I'm gonna have to go to the board with this. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. I'm like, I was under pressure, blah, 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 like trying to be cool. This is just some dork not having it. Not
you ain't
having
having
it.
that
I'm gonna have to go to the
shit.
board, blah, blah, blah. Long story short,
What
I had to
happened? Did he go to the board?
they failed me right away in the class. Got an F, my first F. got an F. They
Yeah.
failed me.
Oh, yeah.
And I was on like probation for quite some time after that.
I've had
Then
some
I would see that guy walking by campus, like, you fucking square.
school.
Have a little fun.
I had a teacher that
At least, I mean,
that
come on.
came in.
SAWorld.com. Shout out to Essay World.
I probably told this
Don't use it, kids. There's a
Yeah.
formula you can just type in your
Sure.
like the first paragraph.
Sure.
This happened to you. You seem way too knowledgeable on it.
No, I've seen it though.
Yeah,
Oh,
I bet
yeah.
you have.
Oh yeah, nowadays. I had a teacher come in. I probably told the story, and he goes,
I gotta piss
I
so
just
hard.
wanted, I just
But carry
wanted you
on.
guys to know that if you guys could take it easy. I mean, my household cat died yesterday, and he started to cry so hard.
Teacher did.
I mean, he's a grown man.
Yeah,
I'd
go
never
and
seen a
take the
grown
day
man
off.
fight. I cry. I've
Cry.
never seen a grown man
Let's go and
cry.
take the day off,
Ooh,
then.
that was so weird to me. I was like, oh, he's crying over a cat. I couldn't get the cat thing either because, I'm a little bit dead behind the eyes. I was like, wow, you're crying over your household cat. But apparently he taught the cat to sit. Got a lot of time on your hands.
Congratulations there, buddy.
That guy can't be my friend.
No, definitely not. I'm afraid if you cry over your household cat, you can do it on your own. I get it. You cry for an animal. Listen, animals are
tough, man.
awesome, but it's a tough one.
What else you got, Ev?
That's it. It's dropping knowledge or fanny question time.
We're excited. Let's
I'm
go.
gonna
Let's go
piss
drain our.
hard.
Let's go drain our dicks. And I got a great dropping knowledge.
Let's go milk our beakers. We'll be right back.
I got a true or false too. Time for a little dropping knowledge. Dropping knowledge. Here's a question for all three of you in the room: Keely, Evan, and Brendan Schaub. The World Trade Center. Let's just take the World Trade Center, the old World Trade Center. Let's take one of those buildings.
The one that got blown up?
Yes. What percentage of that building? I'm going to give you a multiple choice count. What percentage of that building was made up of air? All right. So that giant structure. Was it 20%? Was it 40%? Was it 50%? Is the structure made of 50% air?
Are you talking about oxygen in the building?
Just air. So if you look at that building, right, it's made of steel, cement,
Windows.
and then it's got windows, and then it's got empty space, which would be air. So what percentage of the building was made of air? I'm getting to a much larger dropping knowledge here. So was it as high as 50%, 75%, or 95%? So you got your choices.
I only operate in extremes, so I'm going with 95.
95.
I have to go 95.
What are you going to go?
I'm gonna say 50.
50. The World Trade Centers were indeed 95% air, and they were made of this incredible structure where they were hollow. It's an engineering feat because the amount of actual cement when those 110-story buildings fell, the amount of rubble was only 2 stories high. So that's how little cement was used on that steel, on those steel.
You're lucky Eddie Bravo's not here. 'Cause
Now
he'd say that's a conspiracy
Eddie always
theory.
talks about. Well,
Air is flammable.
and I always say there was a great thing on 2004 Popular Mechanics, which is a highly regarded magazine with physicists. All these physicists got together and explained why the buildings collapsed the way they did, why it was caused by the planes and everything else. But Michael Shermer, who's done Rogan's podcast, wrote a book called Skeptic I just read. Also in his book, and I read this other thing, Dr. Thomas Eager, who is, he is a professor at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, the famous MIT. And his, essentially expertise is in minerals, metals, and materials. He is an engineer of these kinds of things. And he explained why even though jet fuel burns at 1,200 degrees, and steel doesn't really, that particular steel, I guess, has to be at 277 degrees Fahrenheit to melt. Well, why did it melt? Well, in fact, at 1,200 degrees, the steel structure loses 50% of its strength. And so when you had 90,000 liters of jet fuel ignited, other combustible materials like rugs, curtains, furniture, and paper continued burning after the jet fuel was exhausted, raising the temperature to 1,400 degrees, spreading the fire throughout the steel horizontal trusses, which caused them. See, here's the thing people don't realize: when you have these steel structures, it wasn't hot enough to, even when they lost 50% of their strength, it wasn't enough for it to buckle. However, when the temperature was uneven across those trusses, so in some areas it was much hotter than it was in other areas, it created irregularities, which then caused, because it spread the fire throughout the building, and temperatures differentials of hundreds of degrees across single steel horizontal trusses, which caused them to sag, straining and then breaking the angle clips that held them to the vertical columns. And then, of course, when one floor collapsed, along with the 10 stories above it, onto the next floor below, that floor gave way, creating a pancaking effect that triggered the 500,000-ton building to collapse. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of stuff from you guys. I do not care, because I want to mention something. I don't.
I do not
because
care.
because Michael Shermer, the great skeptic, says something so true about this.
Fucking
Whenever you
drop it
hear
on.
conspiracy theorists, the problem is that we have come to these conclusions that the planes brought down the buildings, not bombs, because there were so many different independent lines of inquiry that led to the same conclusion. This was not one group. There were so many people looking at the physics, looking at the chemistry, looking at what really happened,
Brilliant
who
people, right?
chased. And not only that, but also forensic journalists. There were our Central Intelligence Agency, all these different people that were tracing the and my God, the great book, The Looming Tower, which I read, which I believe won a Pulitzer Prize by Lawrence Wright, is another great example. Lawrence Wright doesn't have a fucking agenda. He's a very well-known, very well-regarded journalist. There are so many different independent lines of inquiry that converge upon the same conclusion. When you're a conspiracy theorist and you come along and say, there are all these unexplained events, therefore there was a conspiracy. No, it just means there are some unexplained events. And in fact, you don't have any evidence, because when you ask them for hard evidence, what do they say? It's been covered up.
Yeah.
All the people that know were killed. People are afraid to talk. And then they'll point to some video or a couple of videos on YouTube. There are about 643,000 different websites or something dedicated to the 9/11 conspiracy. Yeah, doesn't mean it's true. Michael Shermer does a great job. There's a great thing in Popular Mechanics, but also Thomas Eager, professor at MIT, highly regarded mineralogist who knows all about steel structures and temperature and
We
everything
should get a
else,
beer with that
explains
guy.
it, which I actually read. I read it. It was hard reading, but I actually read it so I'd be prepared. But that's one example. There are so many different examples. But please, when it comes to conspiracy theories, it's not that they don't exist. It's just that please understand when
Is there
you
one
have,
you believe? Is there one that you can kind of be like, I can kind of get that? Like, can you give me an example of one you believe?
One I would believe is that in Russia in the 90s, when Russia was having problems with Chechnya, Chechnya has always been a very rebellious part of the Soviet Republic. And the Chechens comprised a large part of the Russian mafia, were Checheni. And they did cause problems in Russia. They were causing problems for Russia as far as being this independent. They have every right to be
So you think
independent,
that's
by
a
the way.
conspiracy
Well,
theory, you
no,
believe?
what happened was in Russia, and I can't remember, it might have been 1995. I can't remember the exact, it was actually after that, 98 or something. 1,300 people were killed in random bombings in Russia in apartment buildings. A lot of Russians were killed, women and children, very innocent people, and it was a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
And they said the Chechenis had done this. Now it's an excuse to go in, and they've leveled Grozny.
And you think
they
the Russians
leveled
were in on
Grozny?
it?
Well, so according to a lot of independent journalists, Russian journalists, and according to a lot of independent intelligence from other countries, okay?
Give me the fucking conspiracy here, man. About to bust.
Most of the evidence points to the fact that the Russian intelligence service
was in
that
on it.
Mr. Putin was a part of and certainly ran was the ones that actually did it, so they'd have an excuse to bomb.
I'd love
Grozny.
Wednesday if you drop knowledge. You did a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
One you believe.
But there, so in a country where somebody has all the power, like Putin, he can get away with conspiracy. The problem with conspiracy theories in the United States is that when there is one, like in Watergate,
We can talk
you get
about it.
found out because the reason you get found out is because there are so many people on the other side who have their agenda. Everybody's looking at everything you're doing. I don't put it past
what about the
people
Earth
in
is
government.
flat? What about the Earth being
That's
flat?
that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life, and it's also not round. It's It's in fact
oval?
It's more of an oval,
Like
apparently.
an egg?
Yeah. Again, there's so much science to back
We know
that
it's
up.
not flat.
Yeah.
That's one thing I feel like.
When people like Eddie, and including me, and anybody else talks about 9/11 and a conspiracy.
You just don't know.
We don't
do you?
know anything.
You're not knowledgeable.
I don't know
enough
anything
on it.
about temperature.
Well,
You know what the difference between heat and temperature
Well, you
is?
just dropped 20 minutes on the show.
Well, because I
guy.
was quoting Thomas Eager and Michael Shermer, who've done their homework on just one particular thing. I had read debunking the 911 myths from Popular Mechanics, so that was a long time ago. But the thing about these conspiracies is the conspiracy was a bunch of men got together, hijacked planes, and flew them into buildings. That's a pretty amazing conspiracy,
be it.
and they pulled it off. That's young fanatical men who came up with a low-tech, high concept idea. That's possible. That's what happened. That's the conspiracy. Whenever you talk about, the U.S. government did this, who in the U.S. government? What? These are.
I think Bush and.
Do you know how hard it
and
is to
too
keep a
much money.
secret?
Oh, I know.
How about the
Well, think about
the NASA moon landing was fakes. So the 1,100 NASA engineers and
Employees,
scientists, they all kept their mouths shut, I guess, and they were all killed. What the fuck are you talking about? If you know how the U.S. government works, you know how ludicrous this sounds. You can't keep a secret. It's really hard for our government to keep a secret.
You and I can't keep a secret.
No, I mean, people talk. So that's why I don't have a lot of time for it. It's a waste of time.
Talking about people.
And conspiracy theorists will not listen to evidence. You can give them evidence, and they're too into the conspiracy. It's too fun to believe. I hear these
It's
people,
more fun,
They
right?
get their facts from Hollywood, the idea that people are evil. I do think there are people that are evil. I do think that there are people that would try to organize and get away with stuff. I do think there are people that make money off of war and profit from war. It's not how... It's a little bit more complicated. Believe it or not, it's more complicated than
I'm
that.
not a conspiracy guy.
No.
Let's go to some fan questions. People are talking.
I'm impressed you got
Talking
95%
about people.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Let's give them something.
Let's
to
give
talk
them
about.
something to talk
He's all
about.
love, a ding ding. I don't know. The acoustics in here, it's just not. You don't know the movie.
All right, first fan
Thank
question.
you.
What movie?
Let's give them something
What
to talk
movie?
about. I even know who sang that.
What movie?
Bonnie Raitt.
What movie though?
Bonnie Raitt sang it. What movie?
Oh wait,
Dirty Dancing.
is it Step Brothers?
Yeah,
Step Brothers. Yeah, Step
It's
Brothers.
obviously Step Brothers.
very.
You know, I've never seen that movie.
Well, there's a conspiracy. I'd like to kill you.
Yeah.
What do you got?
something
All right.
talk about.
First question, Brendan, have you seen the new Vice episode of Weed Etiquette on cannabis and its use protecting the brains of NFL players?
I sure
If so,
have.
What's
Yeah.
your thoughts?
Yeah, I sure have. So I'm not going to try and get too technical here because there's then people are going to send it to me, and I know, and I just spoke to someone about it the other day. My masseuse actually put some on my back. There's the cannabinoid or whatever it's called that doesn't get you high. It's like
Cannabinoid, CBD. It's
CBD.
the stuff Nate was using, right?
Yeah, so CBD is something that they can find that, and scientists think that it almost protects the brain. So when you get CTE, it can protect that from happening when they die and that part of the brain dies. The thing with this CBD oil, it actually helps. So that little
Lubricates or something? Or?
it kind of almost forms like a mucus, like around it to protect it, so it doesn't happen so much. Yeah. And there's all sorts of research that's being done that's showing.
So Nick
proven
Diaz
this
is
works.
right to be smoking so much weed.
Yeah, especially after a fight when you have brain trauma and stuff like that. With this football player, he was All-American from I think Virginia or something. I forget, but he played for the Ravens. He has a huge salary. He's making a bunch of money, and he's worried because a buddy who he played against has horrible CT. Thinks about suicide. Thinks about killing his family. He's not doing well, and so he's been the voice to advocate weed being legal in the NFL because he goes, so you're going to give us all this pharmaceutical drugs, all the painkillers, but you won't even look at this? It's ridiculous.
Yes.
He got cut from the team. He didn't make it through camp. And then he got offers all over the NFL to get picked up, and he goes, it's just not worth it to me anymore. So now he's an advocate for weed. But you look at this, and it's pretty brilliant. And now what they're finding is that it's not. So if you see a vicious knockout, they're saying that it's all the same to your brain. So a jab, the brain just going boom, it's all the same, does the same damage.
Really?
It's all the same damage. So say the worst part is over time. The jabs, the headgear,
Sure.
That's what's
Sure.
adding up, making it horrible. Not the one huge knockout.
Wow.
It's the sparring, just the simple jab.
Yep.
Because your brain is shifting like this. So when you have a helmet on, you have your headgear on, it protects like the skull, but the brain is still
It's
getting
not
impact.
protecting the inertia. You're still getting.
And they're saying even the small, like those jabs, a guy blocks the jab. Your brain doesn't know the difference. It doesn't
Right.
matter. So saying all that over time adds up, and that's where CT kicks in.
Yikes.
But yeah, I did see that. It was fascinating. Viceland's killing it. They do great work.
All right, next one. I'm moving from Boston to LA in January to pursue acting. I have money saved up and will be working as an Uber driver to pay the bills.
There you go.
Got 3 years of acting experience. Brian, how do you recommend I go about finding a good agent if I can't get my current agency to help me out?
I don't think that's where your focus should be. Agents are the last thing for you to worry about. Let agents find you. What are you going to do to stand out? The bad news is you're trying to be an actor, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and I would tell you definitely don't. But if you have to, I would say
That's his passion, though. You gotta
if
try
it's your
it.
passion, the good news is you have a lot of venues that I never did coming up, which is Instagram, YouTube, Facebook videos. You can take your expression, write funny shit, and get a 1 million, 2 million.
What if he's
following.
a dramatic actor though? That shit ain't gonna fly on Instagram.
If
If he wakes up, he's all. It's Monday morning.
If you're a dramatic actor, figure out a way to get what you do well out on. Still use your
Digital
Instagram
media?
somehow. Yeah, I mean,
I have an idea.
Yeah, go
Can
ahead.
I have an idea?
Please.
I have very little knowledge on this subject. I'll tell you what you do.
You're good at marketing.
Well, no, you take Brian Callen's workshop,
Yeah.
and he's gonna charge you $12K.
$12K.
Charge you $12K.
Yeah, let him finish.
'Cause you owe me fucking $12K.
That's right.
So
let
pay
him finish.
Callen $12K.
Yep.
And just go ahead and bypass Callen.
Cash,
and
please.
put the cash in my hand.
Yeah, go ahead.
You take Brian's workshop,
Yeah.
3 easy days.
Yeah.
And by easy days
Days.
means you're gonna meet at Intelligentsia.
Yeah.
You're gonna buy him coffee.
We're gonna have intense
He's gonna
conversations.
talk your ear off about his days on Mad
conversations.
TV.
Yep, that's right.
That's what
That's
we're gonna do.
Yep.
And then if you're lucky, he'll pull out a couple of accents.
Yep.
Maybe a Goldberg
Yep.
for you.
And by the way,
Maybe a Goldberg.
if you got a girl, you
gotta
got a
bring her
girl,
too.
You got to bring her too, because I'm gonna have to talk to her, and I want to make sure everything is on the up and up. If you
On the up and you're gonna have to sacrifice her. By sacrifice to the acting gods, if you want to
Yeah,
make it in Hollywood,
yeah.
you're gonna hear this a lot by the directors. You gotta sacrifice your girl for them.
Yeah.
Go and let that old 49-year-old beaker touch your girl's ass.
Listen, let Tina take one for the team, if you know what I mean. Tina's gonna have to listen. You want me to help you, and I will help you, and no, I'll help you.
And there's no one better for the
I
job.
want to help you, and thank you for that. bro.
Yeah, man.
And thank you for that, and thank you very much. All it's gonna cost, and if you tell me you're gonna put a price on your career, it's gonna cost you 12,000 measly American dollars. First of all,
Straight
give me
to
a
the
break.
Big Brown
First of all,
account.
you're welcome in advance, and let me wet my beak a little bit.
And by wet the beak, it's let the beaker in your girl's
Tina and
mouth.
Tina, let me take a run at Tina. I just want to take a hit off. Hey, can I take a hit off that joint? I just want to take a hit off Tina. That's all. Just let me get a hit.
Hey, it's like a piece of pizza. What's the crust? The crust is your girl's ass.
Now I'm gonna need you guys to keep mum on the subject, cause got a wife, so just mum up a little bit.
You ever seen Band of Brothers? Yeah, we don't rat on each other. We support each other.
You mum up. You mum up. Give me 12K. Drop that in Big Brown's hand, and then mum up. Let me take a run at your girl.
Yeah, tell Tina you're gonna have to keep quiet.
Hey, but what about mum up? Mum's the word. Mum up. You know, mum up.
How bad you want it, man? Is the real question.
You're gonna put a price on your career and not let me take a run
and I
at
hate
Tina?
to be shitty about it, but
Wow.
I'm gonna have to scan your girl first. She's
What?
gonna have to get through the entourage
Well, it's
before
called
she
the
gets to
poison
the main
test. It's
event.
called the poison test. The king
Yeah.
always had tasters. The king always had tasters.
Yeah, we got a couple of two raging beakers here, so we're gonna need you to go ahead and satisfy them.
Why do you gotta call them beakers, man?
Beakers.
God damn it!
Chemistry class, son.
Listen, we're a couple lady killers. Couple lady killers. Not geniuses, but lady killers. So let's take a run.
Chemistry's in class. Go ahead and fill this beaker up.
So that's my advice. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go, man. Hopefully that helped.
Yeah. Make sure if you're going to be an actor, you have to be an actor. Please do me a favor, actually, on a serious note. You don't have to just be an actor. Maybe take a writing class. Learn how to write. Maybe take 10 writing classes. Learn to write. Learn to create your own expression. This business has moved forward on ideas, not just the fact that you're a good actor. That's a tough way to try to get noticed.
There's
There are a
even
lot of
great ones
good
who don't get
actors.
noticed.
Oh, a lot of great ones out of work. If you want to come here and be a dramatic actor and you're
Do you say he's a guy or a girl?
guy.
Yeah.
Different path.
You want to be Matt Damon or something. There are about 5 of them, and it's a tough one. There are about 5 of them. So
what else you
there's
got?
a lot of work out there.
Yeah, good
though.
luck, my
A lot of
man.
work
Wish
out
you the
there.
best.
Yeah,
Take
there's
Cal's
still a lot of
workshop. It's $12K.
That's all.
All right, Brendan, did you end up doing that fantasy football league with Rappaport?
I've been doing I didn't do Rapport's fantasy league. I've been doing DraftKings. I've been doing some other fantasy stuff. Not my cup of tea, man. Got to be honest. Kind of bored with it.
I don't see.
I'd rather just bet one game. I love betting on games. Like I love putting money on games, watching one game. I don't like scanning the fucking league for how my guys are doing. I'm bored. It's week 2. I'm bored. I'm out.
Yeah.
It's just not fun for me. Like I like picking my team and doing the research stuff like that. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I know I'm going to take heat for that, or people going to try to convince me. It's just not for me. I'd rather just bet on straight up the games.
Fantasy.
I wanted to bet seriously $10,000 on Ohio State. They're like minus 1.5 points at Oklahoma. Fuck you. Asked my brother. I'll show you the text. I went, let's put 10 G's on Ohio State tonight. He goes, a lot of people are picking Oklahoma. I went, not a chance, man. Oklahoma's going to fucking shit the bed. Ohio State's too good, and they wrecked them. I wanted Ohio State versus Louisville in a parlay. In Louisville,
It was
underdogs.
1.5.
It's like 1.5 or maybe even 3.5, but they blew them out. And then Louisville with Florida State was an underdog too. I wanted Louisville. I wanted Ohio State in a parlay. I want to put 10 G's. Fuck your fantasy.
You would have made the bank on that.
Yeah, but then everyone's all scared. I'm scared. I don't want to lose money. You want to make money? I'm going to need you to fill my beaker. All right, go on, Ev.
Fill my beaker, yeah.
Chemistry's in. All right.
Fill my beaker.
I saw
Take my workshop. Sorry. Bring your girl $12,000.
I can't help but sing in between questions.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. Keep going.
I saw the episode of Ridiculousness with you guys and thought it was great. When they showed Bryan farting on the mic, Brendan legitimately looked embarrassed by it on stage. Was I right? And what was the best and worst part about being on Rob's
Did they
show?
really show me farting
Yeah,
on
they did.
national TV?
On national TV, on MTV.
And I'm 70 years old.
Yeah.
And I have kids.
I've never been that guy who thinks like farting's that funny or like I don't really get down with the gross stuff. I know I joke
the
around.
sad part is
I've never been
the
that
really
guy.
sad part is I don't either. And yeah,
When you fart in the mic and they show because let's assume most listeners don't know the firing the kid and like that's the bit they played.
Yeah.
That's the issue I have with it. As from a business standpoint. That's why I'm like, God damn it. As far as I thought it was great. Rob's, he's a one of a kind. He's an amazing talent. I would have edited it different, but I'm also our toughest critic. There's certain things I want to have shown. When they're blasting the tfatk3d.com said the Fighting Kid podcast, 3D's over, man. That fucking ship is done. It's success. We're moving on. We're shooting a pilot next month. That's over. So when they're advertising that, when they played the old school clip of Callen and Sasso and the other thing with the leg breaking, even my girl's like, how old is Callen there? When did he shoot that? I'm
That
like,
was forever ago.
yeah, I know. It doesn't like a lot of it didn't make sense. Like
Yeah.
there's so much more they could have done with it.
Yeah.
And they cut out a bunch of parts. Like me and Callen were like jumping around the stage and they edited the fuck out of it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a 22-minute episode and I'm happy we're on and I love Rob and all the guys. So it was cool though.
So we probably hit on this a little bit at the beginning of the show, but it's worth bringing back up. Bryan, what the fuck was running through your head when you heard about a bomb going off near you in New York?
I just was afraid that people had died. That's all I cared about.
Was your first instinct to run towards or
Yes,
away?
Towards. Because I wanted to see what I could do, and then I had to be on stage, and then I thought maybe another bomb will go off, so I should go back inside. And this is a terrifying feeling. It's a sickening feeling when you hear something that loud, and you know it was a bomb, and you know it's a terrorist, and you know it could be the beginning of something even worse. That was I just hate feeling vulnerable, out of control.
There's nothing you can
and
do,
it's
right?
just, it brings to the forefront of your brain how terrible and awful this world can be, how finite life is. And I said to Jimmy, I think it sounded so loud and you could see the smoke. I said, people are dead right now, dude. And I got to go do stand up. I got to go do stand up in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, run on stage. That's literally, what it was. So I think that's what was going through my head. And it brings you down.
The way I think about it is like what a shoot. Let's say no one died, thank God, and he's the worst terrorist of all time. Hopefully someone's fucking running a train on him in prison right now or in jail. But what's frustrating is like, let's say that's how you died, you know what I'm saying? Or let's say when we're in New York on November 3rd for the comedy festival, which is a huge opportunity for me, and you've done it before, it's a big deal. And let's say a bomb went off and that's how I died. Like what a fucking bummer.
I can't imagine.
Like, can you imagine
and making the call,
the hate
and
you would have?
the call
it's
to
not
your
even that,
girl,
but it's just like my son.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how'd your dad die? Fucking went to New York, man. This fucking idiot who's an American citizen went rogue and saw some shit on the internet and decided he's part of this ISIS cause, set off a bomb, blew up my dad, man. So I'm never gonna learn from him.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's what got like.
It's called a ripple effect, man.
God, dog.
And that's what I think about too. That was the other thing I thought about. That
like, if I'm gonna go,
depressing.
let's make it fucking good, man.
Yeah.
I've done some shit in my life.
Yeah.
Like let me be on the set of my dream job
Not
or something, and a fucking light falls on me. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Let me go swim in the ocean when I'm always over there, and there's a great white shark cuts me in two. I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. I know exactly what
But
you mean by
a
that.
random fucking
And also-
loser who's in his parents' basement and he's mad at the world because he doesn't have half the talent most people does, or maybe he does, but he never achieved it. So his hate online goes to get hit in the real world. Fuck you.
And the other thing that I also think about is this, like I don't know for you, but like just making your life work and being good at something and trying to make yourself proud and fulfill your goals. It takes so much effort and work, and it takes so much time. And I guess sometimes I feel like when those random things happen, like it's hard enough just trying to fucking wake up and do the right thing every day and keep growing and contributing and all those things. And then those random things where it could all just go away, or you get egregiously, wounded. You could lose your eyesight or a leg. Those kinds of things that we live with, that people do live with every day. That's the other thing. The random, shocking nature of violence and how it can just stop it all.
What's like that story you told about, we're going down a sad road here, but that story you told about that girl that was committing suicide, and she said she was going to walk to, that's in San Francisco, she was going to walk to the bridge before she jumped off. And she said, if one person would smile at me, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And no one did.
No one did.
But my thing is with like these fucking ISIS guys and this random dude who thinks he's making a difference is how, like, let's say he was at Subway or some random spot and someone's just like, hey man, how you doing? And he just goes off and someone's like, I get that, but here's my point of view. Here's what I think you could do different. Yes. How would that ripple butterfly effect? How would that change his demeanor? What if someone just said, dude, whoa. Like, imagine if he just talked to someone who wasn't going to freak out, and he's like, dude, I'm so frustrated, and I think what America stands for is fucking terrible, and I want to burn the flag, and what they did to my family's restaurant, I'm going to set bombs around New York. And if someone of his descent, or maybe a random dude just went, whoa, hold on.
Let's talk.
Yeah. So you think by setting off bombs, you think that's going to have a positive effect on not only you, but your family and their business?
And your cause.
You're wrong, brother. You're going the exact opposite direction. Your family's going to be outcast for the rest of their life. That restaurant, they're going to lose it. Do you think about that? Mm-hmm. Also, most likely, 99% of the time, the guys who do this, you die, man. Mm-hmm. And I tell you, those 70 virgins, what the fuck they let's be real, that ain't happening, man. Let's just think about this.
Yeah.
You're ruining your life and your family.
Yeah.
And also, in 2 days, no one's going to know who you are.
Yeah.
I can't tell your name.
I did a podcast a long time ago with a guy who started a bank where he creates micro loans, you know, and it's very successful. And it's really taken a lot of people out of poverty. And he said he started it because he was walking down, I can't remember the exact story, but I recorded it. He was walking down the street, and these guys were in, I think it was Saudi Arabia or something, and they were working so hard, and they were in the sun, and they were like, sweating, and it was so awful. It was like, he just said, God, I can't imagine working this way. And one of them looked up at him and smiled at him. And he goes, he was so taken aback by the guy who gave him a smile. He said, that dude is so human, and he's so like me. He just happens to be in different circumstances. Yep. And it caused him to say, I'm going to start my own microloan company. And he did, and it became a huge success and stuff. He goes, if that guy hadn't smiled at me, he goes, I'm convinced I never would have done it. But he was so human in that moment, and it inspired me so much.
It just changes.
It changes
but
one
I don't
little
think
thing,
you can do it online. Like on Instagram or Twitter, when you see that vicious, mean hatred, I don't think you can go on there. Hey man, what's wrong? It just he's behind a keyboard. It's different. You have to have human to human interaction, face to face, to make it different.
It's always a mystery why these guys do it. This guy went to college for 2 years. It's always a mystery. It's always what happens to one guy who says he takes that next step. I'm going to take bombs. I'm going to,
outcast.
And what is it? Yeah. Or
what else you got, Ev? Fuck that guy.
All right, next one. To all four of us, what is your favorite one-day outing around LA? Include one activity, one place to eat, and one night out.
I love eating out with my friends. I love eating at great restaurants like Via Veneto or somewhere like that. Scope with Jelena. I love eating at great friends, great wine, great food, laughs, and then I like volleyball on the beach. That's always awesome. And then more eating and more drinking. Those are my two things. But I mean, a perfect day for me, honestly, either tennis or boxing, where I'm getting better at something that I find very difficult. Then a meal with my friends, a laugh, watching a great fight, and drinking great wine.
This guy's looking for specific places to go.
Yep. One activity, one place to eat, and one place to go for
He's
nightlife.
talking about LA. I'm sorry.
Yes, he's talking about Los Angeles.
Yeah, LA only.
Okay.
So yeah, Bryan just told his day. I would. I'd probably do dinner at Scopa during the day. I'd do volleyball in Marina Del Rey or Venice, and then I would go down Abbot Kinney. I'd find some time to go down Abbot Kinney, go to Intelligentsia, walk down there, maybe lunch at Jelena Takeaway because Jelena's always way too busy.
Yeah.
I would go
Justa?
if I like to
Justa's
work out.
pretty good.
Yeah, you can only pick one. My story though, huh?
Sorry
and then if you like to work out, you can go to the Santa Monica Stairs. You do the stairs there, or you can run from Venice Pier to Santa Monica Pier. That's always a good workout. Then jump into the ocean.
Not a bad thing.
There's a bunch of
if you have your girl and then you want to do a quiet, romantic with amazing food, maybe the best food in the world, Via Veneto, which is on Main Street.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And then get ice cream at Salt and Straw.
Ooh, ice cream at
afterwards.
Salt and Straw is not a bad call.
If you want to go
lunch,
shopping, I'd go
lunch.
to the Grove. It's probably my number one spot to go to the Grove. There's a bunch of shit to do over there.
Not as crazy as 3rd Street too.
The street's too packed now.
Way too
It's
packed.
too packed.
Can't handle it.
Way too packed. What would you do, Kay, from a girl's perspective?
Well, I like eating at places where there's a really nice view. So I just went last week. I went to the Malibu Pier Cafe, and it was right on the pier in Malibu. It was so nice, and the food was so good.
Oh yeah.
And then I really like riding bikes. I don't know. I'm really lame when it comes to things like that. I'm gonna say Disneyland or go to the fair
That's
or just
fair.
do.
That's
things,
fine.
Just do like adventuring.
LA has great hiking. You can go to Topanga Canyon, do a hike, and then come down and eat at the Real Inn. That's a really good time. Or
spot.
the Canyon Bistro on Topanga Canyon. But you can go up to Eagle Rock on Munch Trail, and it's they shot the MASH. They said some of the most beautiful.
You could also do
scenery in
the
the world.
famous one. What's the famous hike?
Runyon.
You could do Runyon, then you can have a
lot of people,
Then you
but-
can have. It depends when you go. It's not, I've never been there where it's too bad. Everyone says
Yeah.
that. Santa Monica Stairs.
Topanga is pretty
people.
amazing because you don't see buildings. You're just in the middle of, and it's not that far away, and it's right off the
Canyon's
PCH.
cool because then you can do. You be West Hollywood, so in that area you go to the Grove after
Yeah.
that. If your hotel's where you can shower, go to the Grove.
Stay at the Hotel Irwin, not bad, right in Venice, and then just spend like a good $2,000 on.
That's not a bad idea. What do you guys do?
leave.
What would you do,
I got a
Ev?
good roof bar.
Activity, I'm going with motorcycle ride either down PCH, because that is just a gorgeous ride all the way through,
Wow.
or Angeles Crest. If I go to Angeles
Good call.
Crest, I'm eating at Newcomb's Ranch, which is just like giant log cabin restaurant up at the top of the crest. They have a great little 2-man live band there.
Very good call. Very.
And then
good
if I'm
call.
doing PCH, I'm going to Malibu Seafood. Then for nightlife, if I'm going on a date, going to probably Everson Royce Bar in downtown. A beautiful patio, really nice setup. That whole place, food, drinks, bar, the whole deal is awesome. And if I'm just trying to while out, I'm probably going to one of the Houston Brothers bars in LA, like a No Vacancy or like a Good Times or
Oh, damn.
Breaker 86
I'm
or
not
some
mad
shit
at
like
any of
that.
Me neither. You need to start your own shit.
Yeah, geez, my life is so lame.
Venice a good bar.
Kay talking about riding bikes
I know,
and
I
shit.
wanna
If you're
Kay was
young,
talking about eating pralines and riding
no.
bikes.
If you're young in Venice, James Beach is pretty good. Great bar.
it's all right.
it's a
I wouldn't
meat-
go
it's a
there.
meat
if I was
market,
young.
though.
I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go there if I was.
It's meat market's the perfect way to describe
Yeah.
it.
You don't want to go there for a good time. If someone lets
do
that
not
bike
take
be
your girl there.
pissed.
Do not
Don't
take
go
your girl there ever.
No,
now your girl.
What you could do is go to the bungalow. You go
But
to
yeah.
Santa Monica.
Oh, I was just there.
That's one.
That is so
The Fairmont
fun
Hotel.
There.
There
That
you
one's
go.
a good one.
It's a little bougie, but yeah, I mean, there's some top-notch talent
Or
there.
if you're really trying to get loose, go to Bootsy Bello in Hollywood. If you're trying to have if you're with your boys, you're looking for a great time, like a turn up. You go to Bootsy Bellows. Then
I can get
have
behind
dinner
that.
at Boa Steakhouse across the street. Then you go to Bootsy Bellows with a fucking bag full of drugs. Yeah. And your beakers full of hope. Oh, that got weird.
right.
Last question. Ev. What else you got?
All right, let's do.
Bag of drugs.
It's just a bag full of drugs.
I've had some good old times at Bootsy Bellows.
For some reason, when you said bag full of drugs, I got so hungry. Not for drugs, but I'm just
Where do you want to
starving.
go, buddy?
I think we
Juice
should
Done?
probably go to Juice.
We haven't been in forever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that half
We've earned
chicken.
it. I'm getting that fucking half chicken with those potatoes. I'm gonna eat the shit out of
I don't
that.
fuck with potatoes, but they do have that good the combo salad.
Oh boy,
My mouth is watering.
I'm dying. Let's hurry up.
All right, last one.
Yeah, I hate when they take forever.
You guys have been awesome. Thank you for listening. We love you.
Last one.
I
How
wanna
hard is
lick
it?
you all over.
All over when
And
you've got
over
just
and again.
He doesn't know it. Go ahead.
Again.
Shit.
Last question. How hard is it for Brendan to balance working out, diet, work, and family? I find it hard to work out more than 3 times a week and stay on top of diet, especially on weekends.
The answer is it's really hard for anybody, and that's why terrorism events fucking suck, because they can put a stop to all of that. It's really hard when people are trying to
Not
balance
at all. Well, I think it's for Brendan.
Sorry, buddy,
Well,
sorry.
first of all, the terrorist events don't affect me in the least bit. I wake up at 6 a.m. and do my workout before I do anything.
No matter what.
No matter what, whether there's bombs or whatever, that has nothing to do with me. You just got to keep on living because they want
on
you to
keeping on,
stop.
you fuck.
My thing is I have so much shit going on. I wake up early, so I'm up at 6 a.m. now. I've been getting up at 6 a.m. for the past 2 months. So I'm in the gym by 7:30,
Damn.
and then we're in here at 11. So I wake up with my son, feed him, change him, play with him, make my bulletproof coffee. Then I go to the gym, and then I come back, shower, and get ready for this. And then once we do the show, then I have the rest of the day if I have meetings, auditions, whatever it is. Or like now, after this, I have to go work, do some stand-up ideas with Callan, because I have my stand-up on Tuesday, tomorrow night, at the Comedy Store, 8 p.m. And then Thursday, we're in San Jose, so we got to map out that. But if what I used to do is all morning, right, like hang out, play with my son, then come here and then work out afterwards. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I'm when I get home at 5 or 6, unless there's something extremely important, my phone's off, everything off. It's family time, man. Son, girl, family time.
There you go.
But you got to get up early. I'm telling you, if you don't get up early, there's no way. You're not competing with whoever you're trying to beat
But get
out.
your sleep too. Get your sleep.
I'm
Go
in
to
bed by 8:30.
That's crazy.
That's
I'm in
insane.
bed by 8:30.
That's insane.
I'm in bed 8:30 watching shows. I might fall asleep around 10, but I'm in bed by 8:30 resting.
But you get your 8 hours. There you go.
But I'm telling you, man, you want to be a winner, wake up early. If you're trying to be in entertainment, compete with me. I'm up at 6 a.m. every day. Sleep in, see what happens.
There you go, kids.
Ba-boom! We are in San Jose this Thursday. They just released more tickets.
Yes, they did. I'll be in Ottawa. Don't know where it is yet, but it's in Ottawa. I'm doing stand-up on the 30th of September, everybody. Come out. I think it's at a college. I'll find out.
Yeah, that does nothing for anybody because you don't know where you're at.
Generally in Ottawa. I'm generally in Ottawa, guys.
I'll be in Canada, everybody.
Guys, I'll be...
Anyways, we're in San Jose the 22nd. That bitch is almost sold out. Then we're back in Los Angeles first time in a while. October 13th, we're at Oxnard Levity Live. They're at the Brea Improv on the 26th of October. And then in November, we head on down to Florida, November 11th and 12th. And then on the 10th, we're in Atlanta. Those tickets, you guys keep asking. I see it. They go on sale this week. It might be today or tomorrow, but this week, Atlanta, it's at I forget where it's at. Either way, tfatk.com has all your tasty needs for all this stuff. But San Jose, they just released tickets. They might be sold out by now because we were sold out and they released some new shit. I don't know how they do it. But San Jose this Thursday, Comedy Store. Callan is there as well. 8 p.m. I'm there. 8 p.m. tomorrow night, Comedy Store. If you're around LA, come and see us. tfatk.com for everything you need. This is The Found Kid. We're out.